I'm addicted to success.
What's up? Welcome to your new favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. I want to thank y'all for joining us for episode 42. My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the pod gods, and with me is the best man in all the podcast land. My nigga, if he don't get no bigger, my nigga B Hilly, you heard me?
Yeah. What up? Missed y'all.
What up, B? What up?
Missed y'all.
Hey, we definitely missed y'all. We want to apologize ahead of time. We had a series of random events last week.
Universe wasn't working with us.
It was not working with us. It did not want us to give y'all our 1 year anniversary show, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 1 year. You have times to show your boobs. Yep. We've been around for 1 whole year. A lot of y'all have been listening to us for 1 whole year. It is amazing. I'm down for receiving boob pics.
Boobs.
Vagina pics. Still, y'all know where they go to. B, how you feel about
vagina
this podcast? I think you made it clear for at least 20 episodes how you feel about vagina pics.
Vagina pics. I mean, shit, the podcast, I love the podcast, man. It gives me an outlet to get these million thoughts that are in my head out to the masses. Right. And I appreciate y'all appreciating me. And I appreciate good friend Fresh to get us up and rolling. Something we definitely talked about for some years now, and she put it to fruition. And shout out to her, or I guess shout out to you because I'm talking to you. It's weird. Shout out to you.
I get shout outs in the third person, first person, 15th person.
But man, it's really dope. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it. Like I said, it's a labor of love for me. If we make money, that's cool, but also at the same time, like, I just enjoy doing this shit on a weekly basis, giving you my thoughts, my opinions, anecdotes, comedy, all the above, and keep it going for several more years.
Several more years. I just piggybacking on B Hill sentiment. I enjoy this. It was something that I wanted to do, and the universe made that happen. A series of events occurred where I was just like, you know what? Been talking about this. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Man, B had been talking about it for years. I can't believe it's been 1 whole year. It seemed like just yesterday, in this episode 42, you know what I'm saying? I just want to thank B for joining me. He's been here, for half the ride for the, co-host that started with me. I appreciate that as well. I appreciate the contributions y'all made here, and I appreciate B coming in for that unofficial second season that we went into, and
clean up had to knock that shit out the park. You know what I mean?
Hey, we've grown. We have thousands of listeners, man. We have thousands of listeners.
So crazy, man. So
we have thousands of listeners, and we're not to the point where we getting paid yet, but the fact that it's thousands of y'all, you know what I mean? That put us as a part of your day. And just from people that I actually know in real life, how they act when we don't drop a podcast, and they can hear me talk at any point in time. You know what I mean? Because they actually know me. But for them, for all the friends that supported and spread the word, for all the people who don't know us at all that spread the word, I appreciate you. You give us a chance to basically do what we were going to do anyway, but we record it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all me and B do every day. We do it over text, but we just talk about shit and fight, and that's just what we do, every day. You know what I'm saying?
We've been doing that before the podcast. That's the wild part. Like,
we've been doing it for almost 20 years, B.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That shit is weird. And that shit is dope. Motherfuckers don't be having friendships that last that long, so it's just a testament to ill niggas, you know what I mean? Everywhere.
Ill niggas, getting your opinions off, and
shit, yeah.
It's a labor of love, and this podcast gonna go places, man. And I just want y'all to say, listen, when we get this website done and we get, we do this photo shoot. So last week when we were recording this, right? So we started recording, y'all. So don't think we just was not recording. Like, power went out, Wi-Fi went out in the middle of the podcast. Like, it was just crazy. So we had started recording this, but we got a photo shoot coming up, right? So in this photo shoot,
we're gonna be twins. Twins. I'm gonna be Arnold Schwarzenegger. She's Danny DeVito. Cause I'm like 6'5" and she's like,
and I'm 5'5".
She's like 4'5".
5'5".
She's like,
I am a woman.
She's a functioning midget.
I'm fine with being 5'5" cool. As a woman.
Yeah, she's a functioning midget. Little person. Sorry, not to offend anybody who is a midget.
You don't mind offending me, but you mind offending midgets and shit.
Yeah, that's true. So I thought it would be dope. We could have like some seersucker suits on, you know what I mean, with some Sperry's and shit, and just like thug it out, you know what I mean, like twins.
Yeah, he thought that shit was so funny. That shit is not flying.
That shit is fire.
Our photo shoot is gonna be me doing the Zoom challenge with B Hill over some glass or so. Like, that's what it's gonna be. He want me to be painful. Fucking Danny DeVito.
I didn't want to.
That's what it's supposed.
I didn't want to inflict pain to you though. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's how offended I was by you wanting to make me Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito is a mainstay in comedic culture, man. He's played some great roles in life. And
Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor. Nah, I'll take governor, my nigga.
Yeah.
Over being Danny DeVito.
Gotcha. Well, I tried. Okay, I tried.
Yeah, I appreciate your try. F for effort.
Ooh.
Not Danny DeVito, but we got more coming. And again, like, we just want to say thank you for y'all continuing to listen to our bullshit, and much love. I love BB is my nigga.
Absolutely.
And just being here, you know what I'm saying, every week. Like, we have thousands of people. We want to get hundreds of thousands of listeners. But at the end of the day, and we only have 50 people listening to us every week, we will probably still do this.
Still be in this bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Most podcasts with no celebrity hosts don't have as many listeners as we have.
For sure.
So thank all of y'all. Pat yourselves on the back.
Take your shirts off if you're in your car, or if you're at home listening on Alexa. Alexa, make her take her shirt off. Alexa, take her shirt off.
Alexa, play bands and make her dance.
Yeah, Alexa, you know what I mean? Turn up. Tell her to turn up. Make her shirt magically fall off.
Hey, B, how your week been though? How your
week is good, man.
Your last 2 weeks.
Yes, last 2 weeks have been pretty good. I don't remember what I did last week. That was my last week of work for the company that I was working with. I started a new company. They didn't drug test me. Shout out to them.
Congratulations on your new gig. Until this your new gig.
Yeah, for sure. So that shit part time. But that shit was weird, man. Like, I was like super nervous at it, like, because they didn't drug test me. Like, they just did a background check after I did all my acceptance and all that shit. So I'm like, all right, them motherfuckers gonna try to pop up one on me when I get there on Monday or some shit. Like, hey, we need you to go and take this as your final step, but them niggas didn't. So we was in that bitch. I started yesterday, so it was cool. Totally different atmosphere. So new chapter in life. Excited about that.
That's what's up.
But man. Friday I took off because my other job is whack. Like, this is some corporate thugging bullshit. So if you're a part of corporate America, which 95% of you probably are,
Team corporate thugging.
Yeah, Team CTE. Not the concussions, but corporate thugging. But,
no, sometimes it feel like the concussion.
Running your head against the same wall every day for fucking 8 hours straight.
Facts.
But yeah, man, I had to use my PTO. I was trying to get an extra check about that bitch, but like, they had did some funky shit talking about like the carryover time and all this other faggot shit. Not faggot in the derogatory term, but just, whatever.
Just faggot in the general fucked up sense
like
of things.
A pile of burning sticks. That's what that shit really means. But,
baboon cheese.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just a pile of burning sticks. But yeah, so they did that. And so I was like, fuck it. I had to take a couple days off here and there. I really wanted to take like a whole week or either get paid one. Couldn't do that. So I just took a day here and, spend time with my kids and shit like that. So, my little girl graduated from swim class. My little boy, both my little boys gonna graduate this week and shit. So we breaking stereotypes that black kids can't swim.
Great. Yeah, shout out to that, man. Let's clap it up for black kids learning to swim, man. And for us having the opportunity to teach our little black kids.
Yeah, shit was mad bread. So that shit better yield.
Well, save a life. You know what I mean? So it's priceless.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I ain't, same slow motion. I ain't doing too much. Smoking weed and shit. You know what I mean? That's about it.
Smoke. Well, last week, guys, y'all was going to have the opportunity to hear my first sober podcast. The universe didn't want you to hear that.
Oh, yeah, she was on her phone. So, she was walking barefoot and like burning sage and shit. And like,
I burned sage before I recorded. So it smelled like sage up in here right now for sure. But yeah, be right. I decided that I wanted to do what I call the rejuvenation / restart week. And it was just where, I just took time off to kind of, reclaim my energy and how I use my energy.
Maxine Waters. I am reclaiming my energy.
Reclaiming my energy, man. Like, you really don't understand how you let other people take your energy and do your, contribute to your moods and all of that. And, it was kind of like a full mind, body, and spirit exercise for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ate super clean all last week. No alcohol, no greenery, no none of that. I didn't party. I didn't do that. I didn't spend time with nobody else besides the people at work because I have to in order to get paid. But outside of that, like, I didn't spend any time with anybody else. I really didn't call or associate with anyone who had like a lot of issues going on that's going to bring you into their issues. And that's no shade against anybody in my life. That was just a time where I needed, for myself and to see, how I would feel, you know what I'm saying? And I did things that, just made me feel happy. I did a lot of goal resetting, you know what I'm saying? I told y'all in a previous podcast that I am a goal-oriented person, and I do set my clock kind of at the start of the year. And like, just knowing like, yo, it's August like a bitch. And I'm looking at the shit that I said I was going to do versus the things that I've actually done up until this point. And I'm like, nah, it's time for a realignment. So it was a very good exercise. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot about how my mind works because I was seriously paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really paying attention to it and trying to little things like be in the bed by midnight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go to bed a lot until like, if I'm not doing anything, I'm not in bed till like 1:30, 2 a.m. I get up at 6 a.m. You know what I mean?
Well, that's 10:30, 11.
So you know what I'm saying? I'll be up, I'm doing shit, I'm watching TV, I'm talking on the phone, I'm entertaining, I'm whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm home and I'm alone, like, it's really no reason to be up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's
you know
wild.
what I'm saying? But your body is all about the training that you give it. You know what I'm saying? So if you used to being up to 2 o'clock on a regular basis, then it's nothing. Your body will adjust to that. You know what I'm saying? But it's always good to get more sleep. It's better for your mind. It's better for everything else. So just instituting, some of those practices and learning, like, when you're talking to somebody and they bring you into their negative energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, finding exercises where you can be empathetic, but you don't get engulfed into what they, what they have going on, because a lot of people, man, are stuck in a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Where they're complaining about the same shit every day. And as your friend or as family or as whoever, at a certain point in time, especially me, like, I'm just like, dog, like, if you're not going to change it, why are we complaining about it every day? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things. I really stayed away from all that. So anyway, it was a very good practice. And I'm back. I'm back on. I've definitely instituted some things that I want to contribute into my day to day. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, there are also things where I feel like I want to do this practice at least quarterly.
Yeah.
And I recommend that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you can, or whatever you can, like, just have 7 full days, like, to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, doing what you need to do, shit that benefits you. I don't know if you call that selfish. I wouldn't call that selfish. I call that self-care, because you probably giving so much of yourself to so many people. And that includes your job, your family, your friends, outside shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to a party or whatever and you surrounded by fucking 200 other people that's giving you that energy. Energy is real and it's transferred. You know what I'm saying? So just think about yourself, you know what I'm saying? And do whatever you need to do. But, you know, I'm back drinking. I'm on this jack today. You know what I'm saying?
You're on that liquor. Oh, so heavy.
And that is his catch
go.
line. They love that, dog.
Damn you, neck man.
The listeners love that. So when y'all see this nigga in public, I want y'all to say, on that liquor.
Go, can you neck me? Little top and I am ready. On some mild. Give me that Beckett.
Speaking of music, a lot of music
Algonaud
dropped this week.
Yeah.
Algonaud. For y'all who don't know, that's Ply's real name.
Yeah.
It's Algonaud. And you talk about me being 4'5" and I'm 5'5". That nigga 4'5" for real.
Yeah, and he got
that
like
nigga
4 or 5
Kevin
hands.
Hart.
He got his hands is like little baby hands. Like he be in there motherfucker wiggling his hands like them fucking. He's gonna get the fucking little
he
fingers
can't
out
even
of
hold the whole titty, huh?
Yeah,
he
man.
All that.
Yeah,
he can't hold the whole butt cheek or
Yeah.
titty. All this porn rap he be going about, and he can't even. His hands ain't even big enough.
That motherfucker small. That's just a little bitty man.
And he wear a lot of platform shoes too.
Oh shit!
Just because they Gucci don't mean we don't notice they not platform.
Yeah, we still
fucking
know
shoes.
they're 7 inches, sir. You are not Huggy Bear. Okay, what are you doing?
And you still only tall enough to go up on a bitch.
Bitch got those 7 inch platforms. And you 5'6". What, nigga?
I don't think Ply's 5'6".
With his 7 inch platforms on is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, that nigga
Damn,
can't.
that's extra.
Nigga ain't never been to Six Flags.
Listen,
Like, you want to go to Six Flags?
That nigga stay at the concession and on the teacups at Disneyland.
You can't get on they ride.
Oh man, I'm listening to Kevin Hart book Life Lessons. So again, during that week, I just wanted to fill myself with all positivity. So the secret video, the actual on Netflix, I watched that. I've already listened to the book twice, but I listened to that and I listened to Kevin Hart Life Lessons because I like to learn from people who have actually done shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of what you think about his comedy or him or whatever, he's done shit. And what I learned is that he actually has faced a lot more downs to get to these ups. Like, people don't understand the journey for you to get there. They just know when they started seeing you. But that's shout out to Kevin Hart on that perspective. But Kevin Hart is only 5'4".
Yeah.
I'm taller than Kevin Hart. Most women are taller than Kevin Hart. That's wild. I didn't know he was that short. I knew he was short. I didn't know he was 5'4".
That nigga.
I was gonna give him like 5'6".
He is a wee man. He is a wee man. Small man.
They said when he said he hopped out the SUV and the bitch was like, "Where's his knees? He don't have no knees."
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck. Yeah.
That's where he was funny. The nigga still wasn't funny. The book is kind of annoying because he tried to be funny, and I told y'all I don't feel like he's currently funny. However, it has a lot of good lessons in it that he learned, and I'm probably 75% through the book. But you know, if you want to learn from somebody who did it and learn about somebody who had a lot of downs before they had ups and all these millions and Nikes and sold out tours and all that, that nigga really put in the work. So this book definitely gave me a new respect, for Kevin Hart. But back to music, my bad. Like, it's a lot of music that dropped. I know Travis Scott, dropped, Mac Miller, Jhené Aiko dropped the song LMA, her, YG, all. And what you kind of gravitated towards this week?
I listened to some of the Travis Scott. I liked some of it. Then it just got too auto-tuning for me. I actually like Travis Scott. I like the last album, the trap bird singing the trap shit. I don't know what the fuck the name of it was, but that was hard.
Birds in the Trap sing McKnight.
Yeah, that's it. Look at you. I like that album. I listened to like the first 6 or 7, and then like I kind of just got distracted, and then it lost my attention because the song that I came back to was mad auto-tuning and had the Weeknd, and I'm not a Weeknd fan, so I was like, I just cut the shit off. So then I turned on her. I turned on her. And
how was that? Because I didn't get a chance. I forgot.
It's definitely not.
Oh man, don't say that. Don't say that.
The last 2 joints I really love. The other one, it's an EP because that's what.
Okay.
Because nobody drops
7.
Like, maybe 6. I don't know. Nobody drops like full length projects anymore, which is weird. Because that's why it was weird when I heard that she was dropping some like she was saying it was an album. Maybe this was just a tune up to it because I don't know. But her previous albums. Previous works that she claimed to be EPs were like 10 to 11 songs. So, I really liked all her previous work. So I was super excited to hear this, but kind of was disappointed. But the last 2 songs on the joint are fucking nuts. The first 3 or 4 I didn't really care for. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not great. Like she got one with Bryson Tiller. She got one where she rapping. I'm cool.
Oh, can she rap?
She can't. Yeah, she can rap, but not like it's nothing that's like, oh, that's crazy.
Okay. But it's good for a singer. Is it good rap for a singer?
I mean, I'm a Lauryn Hill type, Chris Brown, Trey Songz. Them niggas can rap, so.
Nah, but them niggas can rap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, they can put out rap albums.
Exactly, so I don't really know. Like, I mean, it's cool. I'm gonna listen to it again. I only listened to it that one time, so I might give it a whirl. I just got, like, fixated on those last 2 songs, so I kept playing those over and over. But that, I listened to, I'm not a YG fan. He's super trash to me. Who else you say came out? Mac Miller. I like Mac Miller raps. So I just ain't finna go like listen to Mac Miller. So nah, I ain't listening to that.
Yeah, I feel you on that because I had Mac Miller on my list.
He nice though. He can rap.
I wanted to listen. No, Mac Miller is definitely nice. But his songs are either you like them or you don't.
Yeah, for sure.
From my Mac Miller experience, like he either has really good songs or they kind of like trash. Like I've never heard of a Mac Miller song where I'm like, it's just okay, but.
He can ride the beat well. He has a good flow. Like he has a good ear for like how to stay in pocket. I like that just from a hip hop rapper lover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but yeah, I might give it a whirl.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do need to listen to her. I tried. Not that I tried. I had music that I wanted to listen to, but then I think some of my podcasts dropped because I like to listen to a lot of music I really want to hear through my headphones. I kind of told you that before, versus in the car or on a speaker. Like I like to listen to them on my headphones. So I use that time at work where I'm not in a bunch of meetings, whatever. I have concentrated work I need to do kind of at my desk, corporate thugging. So I'll be at my desk, selling drugs, doing Molly,
mad trap shit,
throwing money at strippers, all of that. While I got on a cardigan,
shit,
but, cause the office cold, my nigga. It don't matter if it's summertime. You gotta have a blazer, a cardigan or something on them arms. But, I did listen to Travis Scott. And, when it first came on, I think I texted you like, dog, I'm one song in and it sound like the same bullshit. Straight up. Like, it sound like the same, but it sound like the same thing. You have like 5 ad-libs and then when you do a song with people, you know what I mean, with other artists, you doing the same kind of ad-libs. So it kind of, threw me off. But I can say that with the Travis Scott project, when he on to me. So it's probably like 4 or 5 songs that I really like, and then the rest of them sound like the rest of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But it's a song I hit you up about. I don't know if you had a chance to circle back and listen to it, but it's called Sicko Mode. And they got Drake on it.
That's what
that
Drake
shit
on.
Go. Yeah, and the beat switch up.
I heard that.
So I was at my
again.
That shit go in. So what I do with albums like that is I basically take what I like, I throw it on my playlist, and then I probably don't go back to the shit no more because the songs that I actually like are on the playlist. Mm-hmm. But I would definitely say, Travis Scott, I would say give it a listen, give it a once through. It's worth a once through.
Yeah, he's talented, man. He's talented. Like his production, like he got a good ear for beats, and he makes a lot of his beats. And then, I'm a fan of Travis. Like I got like his previous 2 albums on my phone. This one I'm gonna go back and revisit it. Like I said, it was just kind of like noisy at points, just because like that auto-tune shit get on my nerves a little bit because his voice isn't like as sultry on the auto-tune. It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, he does it well, but I just didn't feel like hearing that shit maybe at that time. I don't know.
I feel like the heavy auto-tune songs, I feel like, you know, I text you about this. I said that I feel like, it's kind of a wave type thing. I feel like once that sound get old, it's going to get old. You know what I'm saying? So I want Travis to continue to develop his sound so it's just not one note, because even when you hear other songs that he produced, his sound is so defined that you know it's a Travis Scott production. And you have to be a little bit more versatile to have staying power, in my opinion. So Travis, you know, get a little bit more versatile, put some Vaseline on your lips, and you know what I'm saying, get with that. But LMA dropped a single called Trip that I love, love, and I played the fuck out of that. And she is the mentally stable SZA to me.
She talented. I thought was shout out to SZA. SZA been fucking looking great on the gram.
I don't know. I'll get at the B. I'll let. She definitely lost a lot of weight, but SZA, I don't know. SZA is just one of those people to me that she seemed like she's never gonna be happy. Like she's a tortured artist to me. Like she's in that genre of tortured artists where they're always gonna have problems and all of that and be insecure and all that. Like no matter how much fame or notoriety she gets, I feel like it's going to be hard for her to settle into herself. And I feel like LMA, like she seemed more happy and like, this is what I'm doing. I don't know. It could be because she's from London. I don't know what it is, but that y'all listen to Trip by LMA. If you love Booed Up, if you love any of the other LMA anymore with Ty Dolla $ign, any of that, you'll love Trip. I didn't listen to YG at all. I want to. I'm not a huge YG fan. I love the what's the single he got out now?
Oh, Big Bang, Little Bang.
Yeah, I love the beat. I feel like that beat could have been executed better by somebody else though. I know he has like an ensemble cast on that. Nicki kind of do all right.
Big
you know
Sean
what I'm saying?
Big
Sean did that.
Big Sean be rapping like fuck. I like Big Sean. I just don't like YG. I hate everything about YG. Like I hate the swag. His
swag is definitely trash, but I like YG. YG done had some songs.
He don't be rapping, man. That nigga just be. I don't know. I hate how you talk. Like, that shit. He just annoys.
I hate how he dress.
I hate how he dress. Like, I hate his whole swag. I don't like
the
his
fucking
raps.
preacher shoes.
Yeah, man. You get the Martin Luther Kings out of here, man. Fucking Medgar.
Hey, the Medgar sixes.
Yeah, fuck out of here, sir.
Hey, get them civil right fours out of here, bro. Let them pass the plate sevens out this bitch.
I was watching Carlos Miller. He was like, niggas in the 60s had it fucked up. Like, them niggas used to have to wear full suits and shit and get slapped in the face by a white man and couldn't go to the, like, he was like, that shit was funny as fuck when he said.
You're not about to slap me in hard bottoms.
You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
nigga, I'm goddamn
back. I'm gonna back kick your ass with these hard bottoms. Like, I got this. I've been having this suit on all day. You talking about, I ain't got no air. You talking about stand up for you? Nigga,
I ain't got no air.
Fuck yeah. That shit crazy. Shout out to our granddaddies and aunties and uncles. And
shout out to y'all and shout out to you with the CGO cup.
Oh yeah, you see that?
I said, hey, that's an inside joke. I don't even want to talk about the CGO.
See,
cup.
I don't even remember what that shit stand for.
Government
commercial
commercial government operations.
Oh, ain't that a bitch? No, it's commercial group. It couldn't have been government.
Nah.
Blue Cross couldn't have no government. It's commercial group, right? I don't know. Who gives a fuck them?
Either way, we don't work for them.
Yeah, suck a dick.
Suck a nigga dick or something. Speaking of Big Sean real quick. The whole Madden thing. So y'all know Madden bleeped out Colin Kaepernick's name. And so everybody was in an uproar about that, which I was as well. And then Madden came back and said they had nothing to do with the protest. It had something to do with the licensing of names. And Colin Kaepernick, they still considered an athlete. So their engineer bleeped that out, thinking it was basically, in line with the policy. Are we buying that?
Nah, that was a hard bar too. Y'all niggas more Colin Kaepernick. That was a hard bar. Nah, I ain't buying that shit, man. Y'all niggas trying to get my boy the fuck out the paint. Like, oh, nah, we ain't giving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it enough for you to not play Madden? You play Madden?
I used to play. I don't play games like I used to. I don't play games, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, quit school because of recess.
You know what I mean? I don't play no fucking games. Real nigga. But nah, I used to love. I was a huge Madden fan. Like, I've been playing Madden all my life. I just don't have a game console anymore. So, and then I don't really be at my homeboy's house like I used to because I got kids and shit. And when we do be around each other, we ain't finna play the game. So no, I don't play it as much. Your kids
don't have no games?
Huh?
Your kids don't have
nah, they 5. They don't need no fucking game. They got iPads and shit like that. I mean,
my little cousins and them be having games at fucking 5 and shit.
Yeah, nah.
I got you. I feel you though.
My son's super fixated.
It's good
like,
that they don't.
Fixated on shit, and I don't feel like dealing with that'll be a whole nother like issue. So
and
cool.
ching ching. I need the new
Yeah, nah, that's
$59.99.
That's an extra bill. I'm cool.
Yeah, I was a little bit, I was like, all right, like, I don't play video games like that no more. I have a bunch of old school systems at my crib that I don't play that I need to play because I collected these systems for a reason, but I don't really know how to play like the new games. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, I'm old. Like, I don't know how to play the new games, and I'm not around people who play games like that. I'm around people that's about that business. You know what I mean? But not to say that if you play games, you ain't about that business, but I don't know a lot of people who sit around and play games. My homie Jada play games, you know what I'm saying? She probably play that shit, but I'm not around her, so I don't know how them shits work. But, yeah, I was just like, all right, like, I get y'all a pass only cause I don't support y'all anyway.
Yeah.
But,
nah, they
YG and all
the people. They did
that
shit previously too. Like in last year they did that shit. I forgot what song it was, but they edited his name out then. So like, man, and he was a free agent then, so he wasn't like completely out of the NFL. You know, he just was a free agent. So no more different than any other free agent. And by definition, he's still a free agent. Like, so, I mean, I think now it's a little different because he's brought a lawsuit against the NFL. So I think it'll be obviously some issues there. But last year y'all did that shit, so I don't know. That shit sucks, man. Like, everything that I enjoy, like, I'm really upset about football. Like, I love football.
I'm really upset about football.
You should really be upset about it because you're fucking a Cowboys fan, and them niggas are a plantation, and then their fucking quarterback is fucking. Yeah, they got.
Ain't even nothing I can say. Like, if a nigga want to go in on the Cowboys, listen, I've been a Cowboys fan as long as I can remember since being a little kid, and you know what I mean? I can defend my Cowboys all day, every day, but now I'm at a point I can't defend it.
Nah, you can't defend it.
Like, ain't nothing I can say. Like, I'm just as disappointed. Like, you like, fuck the Cowboys. I'm like, fuck the Cowboys too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that person that's so wrapped up in what I used to be about that I can't change. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, them niggas don't make me money. That's my team. Or was my team. I don't know what they are. I'm kind of like in a limbo right now. You know what I'm saying? And niggas like Jerry Jones always been fucked up. And I guess my whole thing about it is what I always say, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you do in the privacy of your own home is not my business. Yeah, you know what I mean? But once you come out and say this shit, I can't ignore it. Once you know shit, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't unknow it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, rest in peace to the Cowboys. NFL is the only sport that I watch, that I pay attention to, for real. So it's hurting me, bro. It's hurting
sucks,
me,
man. Like, cause I'm like,
it's hurting me.
I play fantasy football, so I'm still playing that just cause that's gambling. I don't give a fuck. Y'all can kiss my ass. Like,
yeah, I feel you on that.
I'm still gonna play that cause that really ain't got shit. I mean, obviously it does have shit to do with the NFL, but like, that's when it's me and my niggas. I got a chance to win $500, and I enjoy playing fantasy, so that shit is dope. But it's still gonna fuck up my experience a little bit. And then like, I don't want to watch the NFL, but then I do, like, cause it's like, it's just fucked up. Like, it's just, I don't know. Fuck that shit, man. Shit piss me off. Shit makes me mad every time I think about it.
And then you got, so Dak Prescott, he a clown. Then you got your motherfucking quarterback who just a fucking clown too. He a clown too, my nigga. He a clown too.
But at least he ain't fucking co-signing all this fucking racist ass shit. Like, bruh.
Nah, you right.
Like, at least Cam.
That
like,
nigga had
Cam,
on pink sandals bending down.
He's sweet, but he always been sweet, man. He a weirdo. He a nigga from Atlanta. Like, no disrespect to niggas from Atlanta, but y'all niggas is weird. Like, y'all niggas, like, traditionally, historically, are a little off. Like, look at 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is the worst dressed nigga in the world. Like, that nigga that nigga's horribly dressed.
I saw 2 Chainz a couple weeks ago. We talked about that on the last week podcast
that we didn't air. Yeah, it was a good
that didn't air.
Should have heard it.
He be doing too much.
He be dressed like, I don't give a fuck about now one of them logos. That shit be looking trash. And then Andre 3 Stacks, like, niggas just, I don't know. Them Atlanta niggas is just odd. But Cam the beast though.
But you know what I'm saying? North Carolina niggas dress country as fuck.
Georgia niggas dress way country.
Atlanta niggas dress fruity. Atlanta niggas be dressing fruity.
And they be dressing country too though. Like, let's not get it fucked. Like, niggas, like, them niggas be wearing some weirdo shit too. Like, they've been, like, if you go historically back, like, niggas always had some bullshit on. Like for real. Like, them niggas always had some weird shit on. But yeah, Cam a beast on that field. You know what I mean? Like, one of the best. I mean,
Dak a beast on that field, but
he ain't Cam though. But he's
don't do that when I'm not in a position to.
He's not Cam,
my boy, man. I can't even say that. I'm not going to defend it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can't.
Going to defend it. You got me in a position where I can't defend. So go ahead, talk your shit.
But now you see the mural that they put, like, him in the sunken place and shit.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was hard.
No, that was.
And
then he kind of doubled down on his statement. Like, I said what I said.
Yeah, I ain't saying it wasn't appropriate or it shouldn't be something. It's just it shouldn't be. I'm like, man, fuck your bitch ass nigga. And you mixed. You a half breed anyway. You know what I mean?
You a half. Shout out to our half breeds. Don't be offended. But
yeah.
If you got dot of black, you black.
Legally you black, but you should
black.
still like
you checking that other box.
Yeah, you still couldn't get a hold of the master's land either when he died.
Speaking of football, in our Brown and Proud section, I just want to give a shout out to Randy Moss, wide receiver,
that's my nigga.
Former wide receiver Randy Moss, for wearing that
my favorite wide receiver.
His Hall of, he's super dope. In his Hall of Fame induction, he wore a tie with the names of the African Americans that fell victim to police brutality. Yeah. Some of the names included Philando Castile, Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, and that's just to name a few. And I appreciate anybody who used their platform to raise awareness. So shout out to you, man.
And he married to a white woman. Not to say
that's crazy.
But yeah, like I always found I don't know. I always kind of take issue with that. Like, I love white people, but I don't know. Like, it's just, I mean, he's from West Virginia too, so it's
and so we got to be happy that he's not married to his cousin.
That's true.
He's from West Virginia.
And it could be. Shit. Could be his goddamn third cousin, but for real.
His cousin Amy. He married to his cousin Amy.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to bro. Like, he was always one of my favorite players, period. Just cause he was a beast. Niggas couldn't hold him. Nigga was like 6'5", running a 4.2. If you know anything about sports, that's fucking amazing. And he went through a lot of adversity up until, if you ever seen, you should watch his 30 for 30 if you get a chance. 30 for 30 is a super dope anyway, but his was exceptional because he came from Rand, West Virginia, and he just, I don't know, he was a beast though. Like, he used to smoke niggas and he got in trouble because he was hanging with his homeboys and shit, got in trouble, lost it. He was going to Florida State and then lost it, and then Marshall took a final chance on him. He killed him, Marshall. And the NFL still didn't want to take a chance on him, and he ended up getting a shot, obviously, and the rest is history. But shout out to bro, yeah, that was a big thing that he did. I appreciate it. Get Ray Lewis the fuck out of here. He's a fucking weirdo. I hate him. Like, he's coon, Chief Coon. He talking about kissing his boys in the mouth and shit. That nigga, he's just a weirdo.
He was talking about kissing his boys.
Yeah, he always trying to preach like he fucking, like you a prophet or you fucking T.D. Jackson. Get the fuck out of here.
Kill somebody, son.
You fucking murderer. I hate that dude, man. Like, I hate him. And it's crazy because I used to like him when he played.
So no shout out to Ray Lewis
no shout out to
Ain't
you.
Shit Show Pod, man.
Shit, no. Shout out to Terrell Owens too, though. T.O. was a beast. He got inducted. And he did his shit his own way because niggas was fronting on T.O. because they never wanted to give him he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, and they played him like this is third chance or some shit. So he didn't even go to the ceremony. He had his own in Tuskegee, Alabama. Shout out to him. I stand on your laurels. Niggas was hating on you. You still in the Hall of Fame. You ain't got to celebrate it with them because they ain't give a fuck about you. You should have been a first-time Hall of Famer. You were the second leading receiver in yards-wise, most touchdowns, most receptions. Like, all for what it was, T.O. was a fucking monster, and niggas couldn't do shit with him. So that shit was some dirty shit just because he was a fucking bitch, though. But it ain't got nothing to do with his play. Like, just his mental. You know what I'm saying? You remember the T.O. show? You remember the T.O. show?
Yeah, I remember the T.O. show.
Yeah.
I remember the
Niggas
T.O.
always
show.
crying and shit. You know what I mean? Had, who was them two girls that he used to be with? I used to hate them all. Who was their name?
I remember Keita. I feel
Keita,
like one
yeah.
of them name was... And I remember the T.O. show. I remember the T.O. show. It ain't safe out here for the black and the bald. Cause when I think of T.O., for some reason, my mind go to Ocho Cinco as well.
Well, yeah,
I think because Ocho
together.
Cinco did. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, Ocho didn't lay with, yeah, man.
I fuck with Ocho.
But shout out to the, current and former NFL players that know what they about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them, man. You ready to get into this litter shit?
Yep, let's get it.
I just want y'all to know that me and B had a conversation, and this is not B's fault, this is both our fault. We had a conversation prior to this podcast, like, yo, shit gonna be 20 minutes. We 40 minutes in, my nigga.
Yeah, I mean, I
we get it going and it just
producer,
be popping.
So I was just rolling. You know what I mean? Like, you told me you was gonna give me the signs. So I was like, oh, that's it. Maybe this is the part
you
of what
like,
you
fuck that
do.
shit.
Yeah, we rolling.
Like, you know I hate cutting out good content, man. You know I hate that shit. Anyway, we gonna get into lit or shit. Lit or shit is where we talk about the shit that's on your timeline. And per usual, I want you to put your cups up. What you drinking out your CGO cup?
I'm drinking a little kettle. You know, I'm on that liquor.
A little kettle, man.
Kettle uno.
Listen, first of all, I want y'all to know.
And I'm on that pot.
Like I said, I'm not on pot, but I haven't drank in probably like 10 days, and I feel like I'm tipsy already. So I'm on the Jack.
Somebody about to get some drunk text going on in this motherfucker around 12. You know she stay up till 2. She got plenty of time.
Hey, I do be having plenty of time. That is very true.
Motherfucker got sexy right there. I do be having plenty of time. Thank you for calling 1-900 TC Crash. I got plenty of time for you tonight. Come on.
Eligible candidates, swipe right. Is it swipe right or swipe left? I don't do all that.
I don't know.
You don't answer because you should know. If I don't know, you definitely should.
I have no clue. Fucking online date. Man. I'm so glad I ain't got the online date.
We get our cups in the air and, you know, we're gonna I'm gonna let Terry Crews and Samantha Bee try to get certain comedy the fuck up out of here.
I'm tired of Terry Crews.
Don't do that to Terry Crews, man. Don't do that to Terry Crews. So Terry Crews and Samantha Bee of Full Frontal, she's a comedian as well that has a nighttime show. Her and Terry Crews got together to make a serious point, got silly to kind of make a serious point about male sexual abuse and harassment on her show a week or two ago, on her show Full Frontal, right? So basically they stated that the jokes about male rape and sexual assault, just not being funny. They say that sexual assault of men is a real problem and should not be a joke, despite the way we tend to talk about it. After that sentence, they went on to show clips of a lot of famous male comedians, making jokes about male rape and all of that. A lot of the jokes it had dropped the soap and all that shit in it. You know what I'm saying? But they basically ended it by saying, it's not funny, so don't joke about it. Now, with that being said, I wanted to know, especially, from a male perspective, be like, how do you feel about this particular topic and about it being used in comedy?
I don't know. It's just weird for me. I don't know. I'm just kind of over Terry Crews. As far as, I mean, I guess you could try to make light of anything, right? And I mean, I guess you can own it. I mean, I guess it's just like women. I don't know. I guess it's again one of those double standards because you don't really hear about women making jokes about being raped and shit and like sexual, inappropriateness. So I guess it's kind of along those same lines. It should be treated as such. Plus, I mean, it's really not that funny. I mean, the way what they did wasn't funny. Like, I guess if it was maybe actually funny, then I would have been like, oh, I see what they're trying to do there. But shit was corny. You know what I'm saying? And then like, I don't know. Shit was just cheesy as fuck. You know what I mean? So. Get him the fuck out of here. I'm over Terry Crews.
I'm not over Terry Crews. I feel like Terry Crews, I feel kind of divided on this particular subject only because I feel like Terry Crews, what they did, that wasn't funny. And I don't think that it brought the point across. I do think that men need to understand that men are raped and men are sexually assaulted, and that does not take away from your masculinity that you were taken advantage of in whatever way that you were taken advantage of sexually. I don't think that it's funny if a grown woman has sex with a young boy. That's not a rite of passage. That is molestation. Mm-hmm. A lot of times that you have some young kid and they're having sex with their teacher, or somebody in their family that's a female is molesting them. Or, even in Terry Crews' case where a grown man felt it was okay because of his privilege and power to grope him. I feel like that is something that needs to, awareness needs to be brought to that, because I feel like men kind of make men feel away. Like if it was a woman, it would be a totally different thing. Men are assaulted as well. However, I don't feel as though comedy is one of those things that falls into that political correctness box, right? I feel like the basis of comedy is, a lot of comedy is shedding light on dark shit.
Yeah, that's the point of comedy.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like that's what comedy is. So I feel like it's kind of all about delivery.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a comedian, you need to proceed with caution, but it's one of those things. It's kind of like, I put it in the same category of, again, this is something that we talked about on the last podcast that actually didn't air, like about saying the N-word, right? So like, it's like, white people, you can say the N-word if you want to, but how people react to that, you can't control. You know what I'm saying?
You can, I mean, obviously you have the voice and freedom of speech to do so, but that's just one word that you can't say. And
you can't say, but if you feel as though you're in an environment where you can say it. So B and I were talking about how I was at the 2 Chainz concert, and it was a mixed crowd, but mostly white. And so 2 Chainz say a lot of niggas, and it was a lot of niggas flying. They were hyped, they were drunk, and they were saying a lot of niggas. So I had to stop and I had to pause and I had to say, okay, Fresh, are you about to dwell on the fact that all these white people are saying nigga, or the fact that 2 Chainz know he in a mixed crowd and he's still saying nigga and they gonna say it? Like, how do you want to play this? But my whole thing about it is, you have freedom of speech. That is true. But that's what I'm saying about the joke. Like, you can say a joke. It's all about delivery. Yeah. If it ain't funny, you may get demolished.
Yeah.
So you will want to, if you're going to make a joke about a subject like this, no matter what type of rape it is, you just better make sure it's funny. You know what I mean? Because if it ain't funny, you can ruin your career. So there's not no hard line for me as far as if you can say, if you can make jokes about this or not. I feel like in comedy, you should be able to talk about anything, but some shit not funny. I've listened to comedians where I'm just like, that shit not funny. Like, it's just not funny. So if you get dragged for saying this shit, I'm with the crew that's gonna drag your ass because that shit was not funny.
Right.
So but I don't feel like comedians, that should be the first thing they think about, being politically correct. You know what I mean? Like, think about it being funny.
I don't want my comedians to be politically correct. That's like, if I go to a comedy show, I know that there's going to be shit said that's the dark shit's going to be made light of. Right. So I may not like the joke, But I'm not like, even, I mean, unless you just like blatantly, like I could tell you're not making a joke. But if you like, you know, say some shit in jest, then, and if it, I mean, it may hit, may not. But I mean, that's the point. Like you go to a comedy, like comedy, stand up or, you know, comedy shows are places that you go to laugh, right? Or with the intention of laughing. So you know that, I mean, I got a sick, twisted sense of humor as it is. So I enjoy weird shit.
I love
you know
dry comedy.
Yeah, I like dry comedy. I like physical comedy. I like just comedy, period, as long as I'm entertained. So, but when I go there, I know that some shit might be like, ooh, that's wild. Or damn, motherfucker shouldn't have said that. You know what I'm saying? Like D-Ray Davis, I went to his show. It was trash. Don't go see D-Ray Davis. But he had an opener.
D-Ray Davis ain't never been a good stand-up in my opinion.
He's not funny at all. He had an opener that had cerebral palsy. Shit was wild. Shit was the weirdest shit ever. Because the nigga was walking up. He had like them like full canes type shit. Like, you know, where he kind of drag his body.
Both arms?
Yeah, like the metal shit.
Maggie, like, I'm walking.
Yeah,
like
exactly. He was that nigga grown though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Funny as a bitch though. But like the shit was funny. It was a part of his act. Like he was climbing up the steps and shit. Like it was mad quiet. The DJ wasn't playing no music and shit. Everybody like just watching him go up the steps and shit. And nobody knew.
Wonder if he gonna need his medical alert.
Nobody knew what to expect, right? So like he was like, damn, y'all motherfuckers looking at me like I'm retarded or some stupid shit. And so like everybody he broke the ice, but you could tell that was a part of his shit. So then, you know, it was funny as hell. But I say that to say, you know, I went, like when you go there, like it's a vibe, right? So you know you might be offended. Somebody gonna be offended. Just like when somebody joke on somebody. You know what I'm saying? When you go to a show, niggas gonna joke on you. And that's what it is. Don't be offended. Motherfucker, you shouldn't have came. You know, don't be the weirdo that's like trying to buck and shit and do all that weirdo shit. Like you should have carried your weird, funny looking ass because it came late so you could sat in the back. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So I don't know.
I mean, I've definitely been at comedy shows where shit just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Like I've been at comedy shows. I don't care if you tried to make a joke that shit was offensive and the shit just didn't land.
Right.
I'm not saying, and I watched, it wasn't Last Comic Stand-In, but it's something on Netflix where I told you to watch.
Yeah, I watched
some a bunch of different comedians. And the funny thing about it is the 3 women comedians that I watched, they all made jokes about sexual assault, right?
Mm-hmm.
About being a woman and enduring sexual assault or being in a position to be sexually assaulted. And they made that shit funny, you know what I'm saying? It was one chick, she was like, you know, we were taught not to get in strangers' cars and shit like that. And now, you know, we call strange cars up to our house and we get in with all these free holes for them to fill. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But the way they delivered it, it was funny.
Right.
So that's my whole thing. Like, you can deliver some shit where niggas can be offensive, where it can be offensive. There has been comedians that have made jokes where I'm just like, that shit wasn't funny. You're a fuck boy. I'm not listening to you no more.
Right.
But there have also been comedians that have made jokes about the same exact subject and I fell the fuck over laughing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's like a gamble. You know what I'm saying? But just know if you're going to do it, you can't help the reaction that people have. But I do not feel like comedy is one of those things where we should look at super seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like people should be able to talk about whatever they want to talk about. But the only caveat is make it funny. And that you got a job at your job. I have a job at my job and it's to do it well. So if your shit not landing, don't do that joke. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that joke. Don't end your career on that joke. But I definitely don't feel like sometimes drop the soap jokes are fucking funny.
Yeah.
So like niggas need to have the freedom to do that. So I don't necessarily agree with this PSA as a whole, but I would say, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to tell the joke, just commit to that shit, to be completely honest, and make sure that it's funny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Terry Crews and Samantha Bee saying don't do sexual assault jokes at all. Is that litter shit?
Fuck that shit. Dude, make a joke. Just make it funny, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with shit on this one because you can't dictate somebody's art. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if the person telling the joke is a victim of sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah, I'm just going with shit on that. So that's 2 shits for us. Moving along, the Queen Beyoncé Knowles is on the cover of the September issue of Vogue. She talked about a lot of different things. She talked about giving back and why she chose this 23-year-old photographer named Tyler Mitchell, 23 and black, as the first black photographer to ever shoot a Vogue cover.
That's
now,
wild.
Vogue is over 120 years old. That is crazy that this is the first black person. Shout out to Beyonce for just opening those doors and all the other doors that she has opened.
Beyonce proud and black as a motherfucker. That shit is dope.
As a motherfucker.
I think I attribute a lot to that to Jay. I don't know. I wonder how much it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, which part, like, I mean, obviously Jay is extremely smart and just well read and shit like that. But I don't know. Like, I wonder, like, who brought who to the light? You know what I'm saying? Like, or if she or Beyonce was already hip, because you never really heard her talking about it till, you know, like her Black Power-ism, you know, more unless it's been more recently. So I wonder how that. I would love to see how that manifested itself. I mean, I guess just being black in America will make that shit happen if you have any eyes or fucking ears. Yeah. Like James Baldwin said.
Especially in the day and time we in right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. James Baldwin said to be a socially conscious black person in America is to never be at ease. Or something. I don't know. I don't want to quote him. That was a misquote.
That was the gist, though.
Yeah, that was it. So, yeah, I mean, you can, especially with this age and social engineering where that shit is in your face at all fucking given points in time. It may have been her own awakening. It may not even have to necessarily have been Jay. But either way, appreciate it. Shout out to her for doing that. I feel like
Jay definitely gave her. I don't feel like. Well, I don't know their relationship, but I feel like Jay definitely gave Beyonce that swag and that confidence to say, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Jay gave her ideas and how she feel, but I feel like Jay may have gave her the confidence to be like, I'm motherfucking Beyonce and I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say. And y'all, and what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to her just for opening doors. She talked about getting ready for, Coachella. She talked about heartbreak and betrayal professionally and, personally. She talked about, her kids and, you know, having them grow with no ceilings and, how she doesn't want society to dictate to her son how he should act and how he should be sensitive and how he should carry himself. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was dope. How she talked about her ancestry and how it was derived from, a slave master falling in love with a slave and, marrying her.
Most of your fucking slave masters fell in love with us.
But they didn't marry him.
That's true. So
that's like a little jewel right there. Yeah. Like, cause, you know, Black Cat is a little bit different. You know what I mean? It got a little bit more Lowry's on it.
I've had some vanilla
some international cat.
I had some vanilla vagina. It's weird. They smell different. Like not the actual, it's just like their body and shit. It was just weird. It's weird. It was early on in my life, obviously, but it was different. But I know, like, a lot of dudes, I know, like, not a lot, but I know some dudes prefer white women. I mean, it's just all in preference, obviously, but,
do you think that, and I'm getting off topic here, do you think that, so your niggas who love, Caucasian women, what do they say that they like most? Like, if that's their preference.
I think I got one homeboy in particular. Shout out to B-Dot. He loves white women. Like,
hey, B will give your name on this. I mean, I just want you to know
his real name is something totally different. So,
but your friends know him.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's not like it's just unknown.
Shit. They know what time it is. That nigga is a white. I call him the White Devil Wrangler. That nigga was like It will be in the club. It will be in the club, a black club. The one piece of salt in that pepper can, he is on her off the rip. It's so weird. Like, and it's weird because he from like Geechee, South Carolina. Like, he from Conway, South Carolina. Like, the beach and shit, and his family black as fuck.
Conway.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's right by Myrtle Beach and shit. His family,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know what
nothing
Conway
but
is.
dark skinned women. Like, his mama dark. He got about 5, 6 aunties. They all dark. He got about 6, 7 first cousins. They all dark. He's got black, you know, like his boy cousins black as shit. And bro just like white women. Like, I don't know, like.
What'd he say? What'd he say though?
I think it's just like, I think it's the manipulation that he's able to do. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just their,
so
maybe
that's what I was going with that, but I didn't want to assume on this case because that's what's always the stereotypical assumption. Like, black men who favor white women like it because one, maybe they have a little bit trouble getting a black woman. Cause you know you have some like Uncle Tom as,
and that's the thing. He ain't even know Uncle Tom.
Nah, like, he not. Do I know him? Are we talking about somebody I know?
Nah, you don't know, bro.
I thought talk about your other homeboy, but never mind. But yeah, and it's always like, yeah, I see why you have a white woman because a black woman would never let that shit fly.
Yeah, I don't like. He just.
So
is
it
know,
the manipulation piece?
Weird. And I always ask him like, because I was like, oh, when the hell last time you had some black? He was like, oh, I hit this Puerto Rican. I mean, they're black by default, but they're not black. I was like, when's the last time you had like a black?
Yeah, they like guacamole black.
I don't even know. He really didn't even know. Like, and that shit, I was like, damn, that's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know. But you know, to each his own. What he don't make me shit
for sure.
I try. I don't know how to talk to white women. Obviously not now, but even like back in the day, like I didn't know how to like I could never go up to a white woman like, hey, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like I could never
how's your 401k, Amanda?
Yeah, I could never bag like no white girl. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just the hardest thing. Like I mean, I guess through conversation over the course of time, like you find similar interests and shit like that. But it's still like they'll never know the plight of being with a black person or being a black person. So I don't know. I mean, shout out. I know plenty of, mixed relationships and they're working just fine. So whatever floats your boat, however you love is a beautiful thing. Personally, it's just not for me. I gave it a shot, just didn't land.
I have friends that are, are in relationships, with, colonizers and that's fine. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because a lot of the people who I know who are in relationships with white people are the most pro-black people ever.
Yeah.
So that dichotomy to me is just really fucking interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Oxymoronic,
like that. It's just interesting. Like I've never personally dated. I've never had sex with, a white person. That is on my bucket list just to say I did it. But, I don't know. Like I know for a fact I'm too black. Like I'm too black to be with a white person because I don't think it's a day that goes by without a rant from me about some shit that somebody has done. You know what I mean?
I always bring black people, like black shit to white people. I used to do that shit in my other job. Like, fuck, like I always be like, I always bring it back to race. I don't know. I know they probably be like, this motherfucker always talking about that. Goddamn right, motherfucker. But one of my good friends that I work with, like, he my boy. And I always but I don't know, he just got a different type of swag. Like, you can tell the white people that grew up with black people, you know what I'm saying? Like, they, not necessarily grew up with them, but grew up with them, like, via sports. Like, you can always tell the white dude who plays sports with black dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because they just have a natural, like, they still might be white and may not try to act black at all, but they can understand and they can relate to black people just on some fundamental shit because they know, like, they've seen them, you know what I mean? Or, been around them, been maybe with their families or been with you know what I'm saying? Like, you can just kind of, like, especially people that hoop or have any type of sports, like, you can tell, the white people that, like, you know what I mean? Like, have been grown with black people, like, versus, like, white people that didn't at all, you know what I'm saying? So, and I got it's just a very interesting concept. You know what I mean? Like
I don't like dating individuals where I have to explain a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you need to, like I need to feel in sync. When I come home to you and I'm complaining about whatever, I need to be in sync with that. Like I don't have time to explain to you what this and this means and why we do this and that.
Right.
And why you can't make the mac and cheese and bring it to the event. Like I don't have time to explain all of that.
Why you don't use no wash rag? Stop using
And
soap.
I ain't got time to wait for you to wash your hair every morning. Yeah. Like, no, I don't have time for that. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I don't know. It might be, you know what I'm saying, some billionaire get on my Rihanna and a billionaire come through. Cause I can be bought. I just want y'all to know I can be bought. So, I like that. I mean, the right motherfucking funds come through. I'm gonna be like, yo, you know what I mean? Adam,
coolest monkey in the jungle.
What's good? The coolest monkey in the jungle. Shit. I'm not gonna sell out my race for it. Don't get it twisted. Now, how I finance my shit ain't got nothing to do with my plight with being black, my nigga. But I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Everybody got a motherfucking price.
Shit, yeah.
And I'm just real. I'm just a real nigga.
You can get me.
Hey, niggas' prices is low too. Like when I say I got a price, my price be jai high. These niggas who be saying they don't have a price. Then you say, nah, nigga, everybody got a price. What's their price? Their price be low as fuck, $250. He'll sell out for $250. I can make $250 on my own. I'm not selling out
what Ezel say? We can settle out of court for I need $250,000. We can settle out of court.
My neck, my back, my neck, and my back.
I need to watch that shit. Shout out to Friday.
Oh, man, that's funny as shit. Back to Beyonce.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the topics that Beyonce talked about that I thought was very significant was about pregnancy and body acceptance. She talked about giving birth to her first child, and she said at that point she was believing the things that society said about, you know, how she needed to bounce back and lose the baby weight. She said so. You know, she tried to lose the baby weight in 3 months. She said to ensure that she lost the baby weight, she scheduled a small tour. What type of bullshit is that? To make sure I adhere to my goals, I'm going to schedule a tour, so I don't have no choice but to get back in shape. She said she was 218 pounds when she had the twins. 218 pounds for somebody like Beyonce, where the camera adds a lot, that's a lot of weight for somebody like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, regular hood motherfuckers, 218 really ain't a lot. But, you know what I mean? Like,
before they get pregnant.
Right, exactly. But for somebody who's in the industry that she's in, where your default size need to be like a size 2, like 218 is a lot of weight. She said she was on bed rest, and she also revealed that she had an emergency C-section with the twins. She said she needed time to heal and recover, and during the recovery time, she decided that she needed to practice self-love and self-care and embrace her curvier self. And she said, I want to accept the body that I was in. She said she thinks it's important for women and men to appreciate the beauty of natural bodies. And she said on this cover, if you guys have seen the Vogue pictures, I'm sure they've been on your timeline, on the blogs. She said she stripped away the wigs, the extension, and used as little makeup as possible to get her point across. She says, whenever she's ready to have a 6-pack, she'll go into beast mode. But right now she loving her fupa. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know what fupa mean. Fat above the pussy area. And she said she's loving it right now, and like she's kind of doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it is a lot of pressure for women in Beyonce's situation to bounce back. You see a lot of celebrities have children, and the first thing they do before they even post their kids is like, 1 week, look at my snapback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they're focused on, the optics after they have a child. I know B, did you see it? Did your wife, I don't know if you can speak on her behalf. What up, Tiff? I don't know if you can speak on her behalf, but was there a difference between y'all twins and, you know, when y'all had the third child? Like, was there a weight difference? Or she was, Like body wise.
Well, she went term with my twin. She had them early at 28 weeks.
Yeah, I remember
so
you telling
totally
us that
different.
story.
But she was still a good size.
But like body wise, yeah, like her snapback after she had
my wife it's amazing. Like you would not be able to tell my wife has 3 kids. Like she has no stomach. Yeah.
Your wife is beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And she listens to the podcast, so she may smile when she hears that. Shout out to my boo. But yeah, it's amazing because like every time we go somewhere, like you would never notice she has 3 kids. Like she never had like any, like it was amazing. I don't know. She got crazy genes because like, she shook back immediately. Like with the twins, she was big, but she was on bed rest from week 20 to week 28, give or take. With maybe a week in there where she was not really on bed rest, but, she was on bed rest that time. So she was doing a lot of eating and shit. But when she had the twins, she shook back like super quick because she had a C-section with the twins. She had a C-section with both of them.
Okay.
So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but my son, my baby, he was like 8'6", and he ended up having to come like 3 weeks early because the way the cesarean was on the first set of twins, the way they had to cut her. They told us before they cut her that way, because it was an emergency C-section as well. They told her the way that they had to cut her uterus was, I can't remember what the fuck the shit was, but in order for us to have kids again, they were going to have to cut her uterus again or she would have to have another C-section, because if the baby were to be born vaginally, then it could rupture her uterus or some shit because of the way the scar tissue was, and then obviously kill her and the baby potentially. So they ended up having to schedule, I know, heavy shit. Yeah. But, so she ended up having like, cause you're supposed to go 40 weeks. She ended up having him like 35 weeks. We scheduled a C-section, but he was a big baby up until that point. Cause like towards those last 4 weeks, you start gaining like mad ounces to pounds. So he probably would have been 10 to 12 pounds. Cause I was 11 pounds, 6 ounces. She was 10 pounds.
Damn, Hercules.
Yeah, I was big as hell. 11 pounds, 6 ounces, 25 inches. Real nigga. Shout out to my mama. She had me with no
nigga, you was 6'5" coming out.
Yeah, I was a beast, yo. Like, I was a beast. I stayed in there a little longer.
Shout out to the procreators. I'm not pushing out nothing that big out my vagina.
Nigga, I was born in Louisiana, super backwoods type shit. It was country, so especially then.
Oh, beignet head nigga.
Yeah. That was funny. I had the powder. I came out with the powder sugar on me and everything. It was fire.
With the powder sugar.
That's funny. But yeah, so but she shook back like super quick. You know what I'm saying? Like super quick. And then she was breastfeeding on top of that, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, that helped get rid of the weight. That's why y'all mothers be breastfeeding the 4.
Like, she ain't really got no stretch marks. She ain't got no stretch marks on her stomach and shit. She ain't got really no stretch marks anyway. She was amazing. Shout out to her. Yeah. So
she didn't feel any pressure to.
She did. I mean, her body changed. I remember her saying like her body changed, like just the shape of her body. Like, I mean, I couldn't really tell, but when she would put her clothes on and shit, she would, say like my body ain't the same or different. You know what I'm saying? Like my clothes don't fit right. She was still the same weight and shit like that, but it was just like her body morphed, and you know what I mean? Like her tits were, like different. Her hips were like wider, tits. Shit like, you know what I'm saying? So shit like that, like just it morphed in different ways. So, but I would have to let her speak to exactly how that, you know what I mean, played out. But
yeah, I mean, I think that from the outside looking in, like we don't necessarily expect pregnant women to look like Instagram models the next day.
No,
I don't.
That should be weird.
I mean, like that, I mean, like you should be focusing on your baby. Yeah. You shouldn't be in the gym. You know what I mean? But
breastfeed though. Breastfeed. Yeah. That shit works. I know it has a lot of benefits. One for the child, obviously for you, but that's how a lot of people, like a lot of women lose their weight because,
PSA, when your baby has teeth, it's time to stop breastfeeding. I don't give a fuck. Like once your child has teeth and can pull your titty out, it's time to stop breastfeeding, my nigga. Like, no, I don't care if it do help you burn calories. That shit is just weird. Like, you should have a nigga walk. I had a little cousin that would walk over to my cousin and just pull the titty out.
Yeah, nigga about Plies size.
Plies size toddlers.
Class size is come on. We can go that titty, mom, I'm hungry. I want some titty. Yeah, that shit is wild. Like, I think my wife stopped it like a year because she just got fed up.
Yeah, like, and that's weird. If I'm talking to your baby and your baby pulling out your titty, like, that shit weird. Like, your baby can't be a consultant and sucking on the titty. Like, that shit don't make no sense.
Man. Hey, be right back. I'm about to go get this titty right quick. Suck on this boob. I'm hungry. Nigga need a snack. You want no crackers? Nah, I'm gonna get this fucking milk over here. Shit.
Nah, I'm gonna grab a drink over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
good.
this. I'm cool.
I'm good. Y'all go grab a beer. I'm going to holler at my mama real quick.
These titties right fast. Be right back.
But I think that one of the statements that Beyonce made that seemed very poignant to me was that
such a weird word.
Especially
poignant. It doesn't roll off the tongue well. Like, I like to use it a lot more than I do, but it's just it's just weird for me. Like, poignant. It's just odd. Go ahead. Sorry.
See, I feel like you should be using poignant in your everyday conversation.
I try to. It's just weird. Like, I just don't like the way my lips are in my mind feel like they form. It's
the way
weird.
my lips are pointed.
It's like my lip. I don't know. It's like a weird lip to tongue shit going on. I don't know. Go ahead. My bad.
I think one of the poignant topics.
Stupid word.
That Beyonce stated was that it's that people need to see natural bodies. And I feel like in the society that we're in right now, especially with the Instagram models and with Instagram and the pressure on women and men, we're hearing niggas getting lipo and calf implants and
niggas is weird.
Abs and all that. But in this society, like, people need to see what natural bodies look like. Like, I feel like, we need that. We need natural bodies, and we need somebody that's at a status. And I say we, I mean y'all, because I don't try to fucking look like a fucking Instagram model. But for y'all who do have surgeries and do all this to have this perfect body just to take a picture, like, a person at her level, it's great that she's saying, like, y'all, look, I got a fupa, my nigga. I'm not perfect.
And
I got money. I got fat. Exactly. And I got 3 kids. Like, embrace yourself, love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's important for our children. And with you having a daughter, like, she's 5. Do you have conversation? I remember you bringing up something in a previous podcast where you said your homeboy, his daughter didn't want to go to the pool because of her body, and she was like 10 or 11 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what the fuck?
What conversations have you had? If you haven't had any conversations, what conversations do you feel like you or your wife will have with your daughter in the future, just to negate her insecurities about her body and how she does not need to look Photoshop?
I mean, I give her the beautiful, like, you're beautiful. Like, as of late, we've been talking about, like, black skin versus white skin, which is, it's a strange conversation for a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's
like,
interesting.
Yeah, it's just so fucking
They're
weird.
exposed to more though, so I get it.
Yeah, like, she's like, cause I mean, I remember being back in, like I used to have white friends and shit, and I used to see them niggas washing their hair every day, and I remember like, damn, I need to wash my hair every day. You know what I'm saying? And then like, and one of my white homeboys' mama was like, you don't wash your hair every day. You have a different type of hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and cause I was just staying the night with them, for like, I was spending, the weekend or some shit. We go swimming or do whatever. She was like, baby, you don't need to wash your hair every day. You have a different type of hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being like 10. So like, we're in that realm of like, she wanting the white dolls necessarily or over the black dolls or, like, just, so we've been trying to like stress that issue and just telling her how beautiful her skin is. And then she asking like, is white skin bad skin? I'm like, I mean, it's like, fuck, man. In this episode of
the
Jeopardy,
nigga in me want to say,
I'm like,
but the parent in me gotta say,
I'm like, it's all good skin, right? It's just whatever is inside the skin,
exactly.
But don't be ashamed of the skin that you're in, because black skin is the most beautiful. Because like I'd be having, and then like she's 5 and she's super intuitive and she's like just coming up with this shit on her own. So I'm like, I don't know how far do I need to go because I talk to my kid like I talk to y'all, like not with the cuss words, but like I talk to her just as if she would understand. Like I use the same vocabulary and everything, so that, and which her vocabulary is crazy. Shit is amazing, but like it's just, I don't know. It's fucking, this parent shit is trash. It's Like the parent shit is like, I love it. I love being a parent,
trash.
but it is the hardest thing because I'm still trying to figure it out for my fucking self. So trying to like figure it out, like help somebody else figure it out is fucking wild. So it is a struggle. The hardest thing that I've ever had to deal with. So like, especially now because my kids are in the especially my little girl, because she fucking talks nonstop and is super inquisitive about every fucking thing. So like I find myself in like a fucking a mental scrum because I'm like, how deep do I need to go?
Yes, mental scrum.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. It's just it's difficult, and I know fellow fathers and mothers out there feel my pain. But you know, you just gotta kind of keep it real with them. I try to keep it real with them and keep it real with them on a basic level that they can understand, but without like tainting them too much, but still giving them the jewels that, you know, lay the foundation. So once they start, you know, evolving. And so now, cause my kids going to elementary school, so they about to go to the school in the hood, which I'm kind of pumped up about. Like they're going to be Southside kids.
I'm pumped up.
Yeah. Like, cause they're going to be like going to school with, man, little Southside. Well, I say that, but the Southside being gentrified. I live in Raleigh, and the Southside of Raleigh is being gentrified. There's a whole bunch of white people over there buying up all the property and shit. So not really sure how that's going to work. But when I did a tour, it was still mad little black kids in there, so I was kind of pumped up about. It's
gonna toughen them up a little bit.
Yeah. So just give them, you know. And I'm from the north, but I was fortunate enough. I've been to several schools in Raleigh, so that's how I know a lot of people, and I've kind of had the mixtures. I went to Cary, I went to the hood schools, I went to the good schools, so I like, and it, you know, kind of gave me a broad overview and perspective of life. So it served me well, and I think it's gonna serve them well. So pumped up about it. So we'll see. And I know it's going to, you know, pay dividends on the back end, so we'll see.
Yeah, I have nieces, as you know, and my nieces are, both of them are 12 right now. One's about to be 13, my brother's daughter and my sister's daughter. And it's just very interesting, you know what I'm saying, because they're starting to get bodies.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Now,
yeah.
And I also see like the influence that their friends have over them and the influence that social media has over them. And one of my nieces, the older of the two, she has this obsession with baby hair. Like she's in the mirror all the time slicking down this baby hair, and it's like false baby hair. You know what I mean? Like you putting all this gel so you can look like Bernice Burgos, you know what I mean, with this baby hair. And she's at the age where, you know, she can kind of do her own hair, and they're kind of becoming aware of how they look and all of that. And I'm not a parent, and it's terrifying.
So not ready for that shit, man.
It's terrifying, you know what I'm saying? And me as the aunt, you know what I'm saying, I gotta figure out where I step in, you know what I'm saying? And where you know, you don't want to sound preachy, but you gotta give the kids what they need to know, you know what I'm saying?
I don't even want my kids on fucking social media, like for real. Like,
I don't want them on there either, you know what I'm saying? But they've been having social media accounts for at least the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And they're 12. You know what I mean? So that's, you've been seeing a lot. You're pretty much dictating how you want to look, who you follow, who's the cool people on social media, you know, dictate your actions and all of those type things. And it's very, I don't know, man, like I'm scared as an aunt, so I can only imagine what you feel like as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that eventually this shit is going to come. It's not there yet, but eventually it's going to come.
Like, my little girl got a big butt and shit like her mom, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I'm not looking forward to it. And like,
listen,
I was a whore. Like, so I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have time.
And men gonna look. Like, I remember being young. Like, I remember being in like middle school and high school. And I remember being in the car one day with my pops, God rest his soul. And we were in the car, and this girl walked by the car. We were at a light. And I remember my dad, like, as a reflex of a man, he was like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, she walked by, you know what I mean? Like, she was thick. And I was so disgusted. I was like, damn, like she go to my school. Yeah, I mean, like she go to my school. He was like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. It was a reflex. I got it. Like it was kind of one of those things. So like with my niece, one of my nieces, she's always been pretty much had a big butt. I mean, we clowned her, like our family clown. I mean? So even as a little baby, we'd be like, yo, she gonna be a stripper. Like, look at this little booty on this baby. I mean, like whatever. And then she got older and her booty just got bigger. But then my other niece, she just bloomed out of nowhere. Like she got boobs and butt and she's 12. You know what I'm saying? And her name is Bird. You know what I mean? Her name's Shania, but we call her Bird. And so I always had this joke. I call her Bird niece Burgos. You know what I mean? Like, that's where funny. You get all this body from? Like, nah, it's not cool. It makes me uncomfortable that my niece has so much body.
That
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that shit.
The first time that shit really hit me like that is because I got a niece in my family in Louisiana. Like, my niece, when I met her, she was like 6, right? And then like, so I didn't, obviously it's Louisiana, so I can't like ride down the road and go see her every day or whatever. But like I would go back periodically, and that, like every time I would go, like she's developing more and more and more. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I hadn't seen her in like 5 years, and now she's 7, she'll be 17 coming up. But, now she got like, she got a crazy, she work out and shit, she got a crazy body. I'm like, man, I'd be mad as fuck. Like, man, like these little niggas and shit. I know what a 16-year-old little nigga thinking. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got a little nephew that's 16 and I'm 17.
You used to be 16.
Like last week, I think. Like, you know what I'm saying? It feel like I was 17, like not very long ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just be, man, that shit is just, I don't know, man. And I don't trust that little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know what they be on, but then at the same time, like, I got boys and I got nephews and shit, and I know what it's like to, I don't know, man. Just try to raise good kids.
Do men suffer from body issues at all? Have you ever suffered from a body issue? And I say suffer. That question. Sounds like a really, Nah, I mean that's a viable question. Yeah. I think niggas do.
I personally don't. Like I was
You've never suffered.
Not really. I was skinny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did you have insecurities about that?
Not really. I wanted to get bigger and shit, so I started working out. But like, I used to be skinny as fuck. Like I was coming out of high school. I think I was like 175, but I ain't give a shit because I was tall. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it looked bad. It ain't look bad. You know what I'm saying?
So you never was like, damn, like I wish I was a little buffer, or I wish I was a little. Cause
I did.
The way I'm taking it as.
Like,
right,
I
that's
started
what I'm
taking
saying.
Weight gain and shit. So yeah, I guess I did, but not like it wasn't to a detriment. Like, oh my god,
not to a detriment, but I feel like we all kind of have some insecurity about ourselves. Shit, not somewhere it's inhibiting your life. Like, you can't move forward, but
we all got those perfect imperfections. You know what I'm saying? That you find. So yeah, I definitely had insecurity. Like, I lost my fucking hair mad early. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, so I'm like, I ain't know.
And that's real. I feel like niggas need to be able to express that.
Yeah, that's when niggas like lose they shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not literally and figuratively, but a lot of niggas go bald early. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely like, you definitely like don't want to take your hat off in the club type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is whack. You know what I mean? So that's definitely an insecurity that I definitely had. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, I wanted to get, gain more weight, but I just started. But it's crazy because I had like a crazy high metabolism, like, because I used to eat crazy. I've always had a huge appetite, even to this day. So I just started taking weight gainer and working out, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more vigorously and rigorously. So, with weight and age came, with age came weight. So, but other than that.
I think it's crazy because I think that's one of the things like I want to instill in my nieces is, and my nephew's a little guy right now, but I would want to instill in them that everybody got their shit, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say, like, for me personally, like I think my confidence just in general came from the fact that you ain't gonna say nothing about me my family ain't said about me. You know what I mean? Like, we go in, like, we joke, we clown, like, we do all of that. So by the time I'm in elementary school, whatever, like, I'm oldest too. It ain't really nothing you could say to me that my family ain't said to me. You know what I'm saying? And because we clown each other to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like, my siblings, they can't say, hey sis, what's up, whatever. They just gonna go in with the joke first. You know what I mean? Like, they gonna go in with the joke first. So you kind of become desensitized to that. Like, you don't really care about that. I remember being very young, like being in high school. I mean, not high school, like elementary school, junior high school. And I had to think about my forehead. So I would always wear bangs and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I would always wear bangs. And then I don't know what point in time came, but I was just like, nigga, all these niggas walking around with these big ass foreheads, like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like there are things about, even currently there are things about, my body that I would like to change. It's a difference to me between things you would like to change versus things you kind of feel insecure about. You know what I mean? Like, insecurity is how people are going to take this part of me. I really don't give a fuck because it's an audience for everything.
See, you know what I mean? Ass, Jack.
It's an audience for everything. I've never lacked on anything. Like, I've been in the gym. Shout out to me for last week with all my eating clean. I got off 6 pounds in a week off that. You know what I mean?
That's
but
hard.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's the difference between the insecure. It's ways that I would want to improve myself, but it's not nothing where it's to the detriment of me. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have confidence in yourself, and you got to understand, like, for all, if parents are listening to this, or even, younger people are listening to this, like, Instagram is false. It's all these people that you look up to, all these Instagram models, male or female, because Instagram models come in both forms. Like, they have all this tuning that they do, photoshopping that they do, like all that shit. They get all this stuff just to look perfect. Like, be happy with yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And don't put that pressure on yourself. Just be comfortable with yourself, because I don't care if you got the perfect abs, you got the perfect boobs, you got the perfect whatever you feel like is perfect on somebody. That person has insecurities, and confidence radiates more than anything. Why you think you see ugly ass niggas with bomb ass hoes? Or why you see bomb but some of them just that is a big factor, but some niggas just have that. And you look at a nigga that you've been looking at, and you see the chick that he with, you like, why he with her? Cause her confidence is crazy. Like, you just gotta have, you just gotta really have, that level of confidence, and male or female. So don't make this a female issue. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to give a shout out to Beyoncé for coming with the realness. Like, again, I'm the type going to see On the Run on the 25th, but I'm the type of person, like, I love Beyonce. Hey, yo, hold on. Did you hear about the nigga who tried to steal a plane
that nigga's
to
amazing.
Go to the On the Run tour?
Beyonce got to bail him out. Somebody got to bail that nigga out.
Somebody got to bail him out.
I don't know.
He
kind of
is
stupid
stupid.
though. Like,
he hella stupid, but
did you even have tickets to the Beyonce? Like, I mean, I guess he was like, "Fuck it, if I steal a plane, nigga, I'm gonna steal me a ticket too. I'm breaking that motherfucker." That nigga's.
Before that, I want to know: do you even know how to fly a plane?
It was mad variables in that way.
It was mad variables. So a nigga stole the Marcus. He was definitely black. I didn't see his picture, but his name was definitely black. And he tried to steal a plane to go to the On the Run tour in another state. Like, that is standum.
Nigga, that's hard.
In your highest form. He is your leader. Beehive, y'all need to make him y'all leader, because y'all ain't gonna go that hard. But I just want to give Beyonce constantly uses her platform in ways that I find appealing. I don't understand people who don't like Beyonce. I don't understand you people. And I don't, what she presents to the world, regardless of what happens behind closed doors, what she presents to the world is awesome. And she is a person, her and Hov, who have reached a status of, I have so much money, I will say what I want to say and you will deal. And I applaud her for that, and I like that. Beyonce being Beyonce and on the September cover of Vogue is that leadership.
It's great.
That's awesome. We love you, Beyonce.
Love you.
We would love to hang out with y'all. I want to just hang out. I just want to see what the day in the life is
Shit,
of some niggas like that. But that is definitely lit. Last but not least, I want to talk about Big Freedia and Drake. So y'all know Big Freedia is like a superstar for her New Orleans bounce music.
Superstar,
and she was
star? I don't know. Superstar is kind of
in her world, I feel like she's
That's
a superstar, but we could just say star.
Yeah.
But in that genre, she's kind of like a superstar. You know what I mean? But I it's that. But Big Freedia was in integral part to the Nice for What song by Drake. But as you know, for all the others see the Nice for One video, Big Freedia was not in that video. It was a lot of people in that video. Tiffany Haddish. Who else was in that video?
Yara,
Shahidi.
Yeah. I don't know who else though.
In there, Tracy Ellis Ross was in there, right?
Yeah.
But Big Freedia kind of felt like the fact that, and Big Freedia was one of the reasons why that song was so dope. Like that breakdown where you go into that New Orleans bounce part made that song lit as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And she felt like it was a snub, to the LGBT community. She heard Drake was shooting the In My Feelings video in New Orleans and she hit him up. Big Freedia told TMZ, she said, I decided to hit him up myself and was like, I didn't know you were in New Orleans. She said at that point in time, Drake said, I'm here. Why don't you come through? I'm shooting a video tonight. Won't you come through and make some cameos? Now, take into consideration that Big Freedia is not in the In My Feelings song. She was in Nice for What, you know what I'm saying? But, Big Freedia turned a negative into a positive and seized the opportunity. And she said she had to get her own hair and makeup done. And, she was there in the video shoot was at 2 a.m. She said she felt like even though Drake did not apologize and Drake did not really hit her until she hit him, that it's still, she did that to make it a, big step in the right direction for the LGBT community in hip hop. When I read that story, I was kind of like, damn, like I didn't even pay attention that Big Freedia was not in that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was purposeful? Like you think Drake made a conscious decision to not have Big Freedia in that video?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's for the song was about women, so I mean, I don't know. I gotta tread lightly because I don't know. I don't know. I can't really tell.
You still gotta be real though.
I mean,
because you can talk it through because you got to talk it through for niggas who are in the same position as you mentally, like the way that they thinking about things.
Yeah,
so talk it out.
Mean, I don't really know. It's kind of like, I don't know if I can't really speak obviously for him, but I don't know if I would have put her in there. I mean, Big Freedia for what it's worth is not an attractive, whatever she goes by. I don't know if she goes by a man or a woman, but nonetheless, man or woman, she's not attractive. He or she is not attractive.
Right.
So, I mean, and to the credit of the video, it was mad attractive women in there. So, I mean, I don't know if you really fit. If you didn't really have a place. I didn't know. You know what I mean? And even when you came to the fucking thing, to the fucking nice, the new song with the Kiki shit, you looked a little wild. Like you were kind of weird looking. I ain't gonna say weird looking, but you were just. I mean, she's not. Nah, that motherfucker was weird looking. Like she's just not attractive. Like you had the whole hair and makeup, but then you had like a low on and shit. Like not to say it was just weird. Like the whole swag was just weird. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll bail you out.
You got your royalty, so you should be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just found it a little bit interesting that you want to use Big Freedia's vocals, but you can't use her image. You know what I'm saying? Nice for What would not be Nice for What without that breakdown, without that Big Freedia portion.
I agree.
But I can't necessarily say that from outside looking in that it was an LGBTQ snub because Sid from the internet was in the video. You know what I'm saying? And Sid is a gay female. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. So he good.
Yeah, Sid was in the video. You know what I'm saying? And it could be that Big Freedia, like you said, may not be as attractive. I don't find Sid attractive either. However, if we're talking about as a quick glance, I would say, Sid might be a little bit more camera friendly, than Big Freedia. And, Drake music is soft as fuck. So it's only a verse away from sucking the dick itself. So
Jesus.
You can't just be, I don't think it was necessarily, LGBTQ snub, but I feel like I don't feel like Drake's team overlooked that. You put all these people in the video, and I feel like, hip hop, I don't know, like, do you feel like, hip hop is less homophobic than the past? Or you feel like it's pretty much on par with its homophobia?
Nah, we got niggas like Young Thug that be wearing dresses and shit. So
yeah,
nah. And niggas fuck with him. So it's
I feel like it's kind of one of them things that it's okay as long as you don't say it. Long as it's not out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about a Young Thug, you think about a Uzi, you think about all of these guys
I forgot
that
about his shit.
are clearly, if they're not gay, they're definitely riding that wave of, let's be clear. I've never seen Young Thug post, besides the beard that he has, Jericho, whatever his girl name is. I've never seen him post, hey honey, hey sweetie, love you boo, to any female. He only does that to males. He talks about he liked to smoke naked with his homies. Like, he says everything that most homophobic guys would be like, oh nah, fuck that, he wearing a dress. But because Young Thug has not came out and said directly, like, I am homosexual, then niggas like, I'm just gonna turn a blind eye to it because I like his music. And I feel like Young Thug, a person like Young Thug, trolls. I feel like he does this stuff because he know he can. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like no man that is not homosexual would go to all these lengths to appear homosexual. And I don't have any problem with that. Like, I feel like you should be whoever the fuck you gonna be and fuck whoever give a fuck about that shit. Yeah. But I feel like as far as hip hop is concerned, it's like, it's okay as long as you don't say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? We've had gay rap artists come out, I feel like in more recent times, but they still haven't gotten the notoriety, the outwardly gay people. Like, I think of like Bobby Lights and the other guy, Red. His name was Red, not Trippie Red, but another guy who was like an out homosexual rapper who can actually rap. You know what I'm saying? But
shit, Young M.A. Outside of her ooh shit, like, niggas ain't really fucking with Young M.A. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's a double standard though between men and women. Like, I feel like men are willing to accept gay females. Come on, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah. We've been had gay females.
But they still, like, they hard, but Young M.A. is like extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? So like, that bitch can rap like a motherfucker. And she's really not the cutest motherfucker in the world.
And they love her. Hoes love Young M.A. And she look like a pie face.
She's not attractive at all.
She's not attractive to
hair.
me, but the hoes love her.
Yeah, she got
hair. Long hair.
It's pretty though.
Long and pretty is synonymous.
No, it's a good grade. It's well kept.
I don't know. I don't look at Young M.A. hair like that.
Yeah, when she be having it down, it be looking weird because she got mad long hair. But yeah, no, but she's just not attractive. But she can rap though. But I don't think like her star. I think her gay maybe trumped her star. You know what I'm saying? Because she put out decent music, but I think that like I don't feel like Young M.A. like she put out ooh. And that was that. But I don't feel like Young M.A. has musically put out enough music to keep her momentum. I feel like if Young M.A. put out the music, like she put out, Young M.A. is like super, super hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she got bars and she got all of that. She boom bap.
But she hasn't put out the commercial hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides ooh, like the shit that she's put out, they don't really have good hooks. You know what I mean? Like, they, like, musically, I feel like that's where she falls. I don't necessarily feel like Young M.A. isn't a star because she's gay. That's just personally. I just feel like her music hasn't followed up the way that
I think maybe because motherfuckers didn't market her, like, they didn't really know how to market, like, a gay You know, like, I don't know.
I feel like Dej Loaf was supposed to have that lane. Dej Loaf was cute and she was gay, but she wanted to go into the lane of let me do what I think I should do. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted to get into this fake relationship with Dirk, and clearly they wasn't having sex. They even said they wasn't having sex. He cheated on her. Like, you had mad girlfriends before that. The girls came out and talked about it. Like, it's 2018. Like, just be you. Like, I mean, she was supposed to have that lane. Yeah, they said they never fucked. They never, you know what I mean? And you know, Dirk got mad kids. He young and he got mad kids. He out here fucking. He ain't got time to be with somebody's beard. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Dej Loaf had a lane where she was attractive and she was putting out decent music, although I hate her voice.
Yeah.
I hate her voice. It's annoying as fuck. I don't like her voice, but I felt like she could have took that lane. And then Young and May came in with the ooh shit, and hoes love Young and May. Like, I follow Young and May. I see hoes in her motherfucking comments damn near FedEx in the panties. Like, I feel so weird. You know what I'm saying? She had
Tory Ricks, didn't she?
Yeah, and now she with fucking Rich the Kid, who ain't far from a lesbian, like the way he look. Like, he ain't, you know what I mean? Young and May look harder than Rich the Kid. You know what I mean? Like, if we going on that, but I still feel like there's a double standard. Personally, I feel like there's a double standard in hip hop. Although, you know, you had people like Frank Ocean, who niggas just had to deal. You know what I mean? Like, Frank Ocean made dope ass music. You had to deal.
His star kind of dwindled too after that shit, though. In my opinion,
I don't feel like it was he came out with Agent Orange, right? He came out and he said, I'm gay, da 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 da. I still feel like it's a Young and May situation where the follow up didn't come with that. Because there's niggas that still listen to a tornado came around my room. How that Drake go?
A tornado came around my room until you came. Excuse the mess it made. That shit fire. But that's about a nigga. That's about a nigga coming in and fucking him, right?
Exactly. But if your music is dope enough where it can't be denied, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas just gotta deal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and then you have niggas like non-hip hop, but you have niggas like Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross was clearly gay. We still banging Luther Vandross when they come on. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Valentino clearly.
No, I just had a conversation about that. That's crazy. Like, that shit is crazy. I forgot that he was fucking like trannies and shit. Like, until like the other day. I'm like, because I was listening to I got his first album on my phone and shit, and the shit just randomly came on. I'm like, oh shit.
You like, slow down.
That shit was
I really want to see your dick print.
I don't think my version doesn't go like that. Nope.
My version don't go like that.
No.
Nope. What happened was
that shit was funny though, but like
funny.
That nigga fucking trannies and shit. That's crazy.
Hey, quick while we still on Drake, because we need to get off this subject because we running long. But Drake. How long are we gonna let Drake get away with this appropriation, this cultural appropriation? Like, looking at the Kiki video,
been rocking it now for 10 years. Might as well. He ain't stopping. That nigga go. He from
Why
everywhere.
do we keep letting Drake get away with this? He in the Kiki video with the gold fronts on with this fake accent. He doesn't. Do we let him get away with it because he's an actor?
Oh my god, he had the worst Louisiana accent that was. Fucking
and outfits. Drake can't dress to save his fucking life, nigga. Like,
he's
like the worst dressed nigga in hip hop. He's one of the worst dressed niggas in hip hop. Like, period. Like, he's just not. I'm looking at this video like Drake gonna just keep appropriating whatever thing he want to appropriate. Like, he want to be Jamaican. He want to be from Houston. He want to be from Atlanta. He want to be from Cali. He want to be like, you can't just make a persona.
Shit,
but
yeah, he can.
I guess he can. I guess he fucking can, man. Anyway, man, Drake not letting Big Freedia in the Nice for What video. Is that lit or shit?
I guess it's lit. I mean, she's not cute, so she doesn't look nice for what. So
Bobo Chain.
Yeah, you see that. It is lit. I wouldn't have kept. I would have had her ugly ass in there either. Better keep this royalty check and that sample clearing that I got.
Shit. I'm giving that a shit only because don't use me for my vocals. Yeah, I'm getting paid for the shit, but don't use me for my vocals, but then I'm not good enough to be in your video. I do agree that, Big Freedia is not easy on the eyes. However, you know what I'm saying? You could have had her in there real quick. I ain't got to use
you in my video. Like,
that's
my
true,
video.
but
like,
my opinion of it is
shit.
You put all these extra niggas in. You put this little slim long face bitch in that's gay. You could have put my wide, funny looking face in.
What you
like,
gonna
whatever.
wear? You gonna wear like a low or some shit? Like you gonna have on like the fuck? We got man, nah, hell
whatever. Big Freedia, listen. Y'all don't need to change who the fuck you are for nobody.
Yeah,
if you wear a fucking low,
if
you wearing a low in a quick weave, wear your fucking low in your quick weave, cause I had a low in a quick weave on when I recorded these vocals. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just
so
what it is.
For them vocals.
But I'm gonna go with that shit. Like, he should let her in there. And why I gotta hit you up to be in some shit? Don't be about it, but not really be about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I feel like Drake could have made a statement, and Drake, like Beyonce, could have used his platform to educate people, because people are sheep out here. So if Drake tell you to be a little bit more tolerant to the LGBT community or the unattractive LGBT community, I think that would have went a ways, because it is people out here that only go by what other people say. Like, I'm not that person, but it is a whole herd of motherfuckers that's like that. So I'm going with shit, and I'm definitely going with shit with Drake and his cultural appropriation. Like, that shit's so trash. Drake, you better be glad you make good music, my nigga. Like, that's what it is. So with that, anyway, we gonna move along. We gonna move out of lit or shit. We're going super duper long today.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we didn't give y'all an episode, so y'all gotta bear with us. We didn't give y'all an episode last week, so y'all should be happy we gonna give y'all like probably, from what I'm looking at, an extra 20 minutes of our commentary. Let's move into Ain't Shit in 2 Cents. This is your favorite. This is
Who is naked?
Little bit of naked section. Your little bit of naked section. Ain't Shit in 2 Cents is our listener letter segment where we give advice to people who clearly don't care that niggas is on that liquor so heavy.
On that liquor. That's my shit. Can you neck me?
So today, our letter is from a listener who calls herself Sweet Brown.
Oh, shit. No, she naked.
So here's the letter.
Somewhere.
She said, hey, y'all. Love the show.
Sweet Brown.
Y'all crack me up. Y'all are the perfect dynamic. I love it a lot. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Sweet Brown.
Thank you for appreciating us, Sweet Brown.
You fucking, you probably was in there singing with Miss Suge Avery and the goddamn.
You remember Sweet Brown from,
Yes. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I got asthma. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Shout out to Sweet Brown. Sweet Brown, where you at?
Yeah.
You need to listen to this podcast and let us know where
that's her. Sweet Brown, that's who writing in there. About to sing some Negro spirituals.
So Sweet Brown says, I work in a customer service environment, and that's the main reason why I picked this, because we know about working in a customer service environment.
It's the greatest place.
She says, I work in a customer service environment where when I first started working there, I started dating this guy.
Been there before. Not a guy, but love in the workplace. Keep going.
When the closets come open. She says she dated a guy. I think we've all dated people we work with.
You ain't real if you ain't.
Lord knows I have. She says, come to find out he was married. And she says, shaking my head.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I cussed him out immediately and stopped seeing him when I found out. Well, since then, this guy has not only been promoted to manager, he is now my manager.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. I ain't gave that in a long time. My company has an award called the Excellence Award. Each manager votes for one person on their team to receive this award. This award comes with a 5% raise and a one-time $2,500 check.
You better bust it wide. You better go get that fucking paper. What the hell wrong with you? What are we talking about?
Can I finish the letter before you get that mic?
Go ahead.
Again, everybody has a price, people. Don't let people make you believe they don't have a price. He told me that it's between me and another co-worker for this award.
You know what you gotta do.
I work hard and I know I do a great job. He says I can secure the prize by letting him eat me out one last time.
And you can eat me out.
He said, she says, I need that money, but he is married. What should I do? I'm going to let B Hill go ahead and give his shit. What should Sweet Brown do, B Hill? You heard me.
You better give him that sweet pink. Let him have a snack. Sweet you understand pink. What I'm talking about? You better get you some head and get you $2,500. Shit, you got fuck that. You got some shit you got to pay.
Sweet pink you know is funny as
hell. Christmas finna pop up in about 3 months for your motherfucking ass, and it's gonna be time to buy the baby some clothes. You know what I mean? Christmas time. It's Christmas time. You better you talking about eating it too? Shit. You better say your Hail Marys and repent. One good time for the Lord. The Lord know your heart. Shit, you better get some of that Sweet Brown that sweet pink. Give him some of that sweet pink. That's all I got.
Hey, that's funny as hell. Sweet Brown, listen. You know I try to be the moral compass because B Hill is definitely not going to be the moral compass. Listen, I told y'all I did my rejuvenation restart week in about
vaginal rejuvenation.
Nah, I'm always on point with that, dog. No rejuvenation needed. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Anyway, listen, Sweet Brown. I do feel like everybody has a price. I do feel like that. But I just feel like karma is real. You know what I mean? It's 2,500 and we ain't even talking about 25,000 because if we talking about 25,000, our old job used to give out 25,000 for that type of award. But anyway, it's 2,500. So think about this. After taxes, we talking about 1,800.
Go right? Exempt. You won't get no taxes. Bust it open.
You still got to pay it eventually.
No, you don't. If you got kids, you good.
Sweet Brown didn't mention kids. So don't try to get her audited. But so after taxes, we talking about like 1,800. It's all on your moral compass. Now, getting some head, getting some head.
DTT.
How do you rate that on the moral compass? I feel like honestly, it depends on how you feel about this nigga because the ethics and compliance associate, in here will say, I would take his ass to HR and still get the 2,500. But sometimes you don't want to throw a nigga under the bus, even though that is fucked up, even though some shit you gotta be the fucking police. Yeah. Fuck would be saying like, if it's between me and you, it's gonna be me all day, especially if it's in the workplace.
For sure.
We ain't talking about street ethics. We talking about corporate ethics.
That's true.
And motherfuckers will definitely throw you under the bus.
That's for sure.
For sure. If some shit came down where it threatened his livelihood, he would definitely take your ass to HR. Trust and fucking believe. But what I say is, it's all about your moral compass. You know what I'm saying? If that 2,500 minus taxes is worth it, I say get on your back and get some good head. However, if you worried about karma, because energy definitely comes back around in situations and circumstances. You know what I'm saying? You might get that 1,800 and then your car break down.
That's true.
And you gotta use that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he a fuck boy for even coming at you like that on some real shit. Nigga. Like, he a fuck nigga for real for coming at you like that, but a nigga gon' nig, you know what I'm saying? Any chance, because he gonna try to eat you out and then try to get you high and heavy and then say,
raise too though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he gonna say, let me stick the tip in. And then y'all gonna be fucking again. And then you gonna be fucking somebody's husband. You know what I'm saying? But
Debbie Downer.
Real shit. I'm here to give you that real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I would go about it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like,
I'm just fucking with you. I mean,
for sure.
It's tough. That's a tough decision to make. But
again, everybody have a price.
Yeah.
Her price might be 1,800.
You might need 18. You know what I mean?
You might need 18
and that 5% raise and shit. But
hey, you might be willing to risk it.
Yeah. Record that nigga, man. Record that nigga, try to blackmail that motherfucker.
Whoa.
Not blackmail him, but just in case some shit ever get funky, like, you know what I'm saying? Save all the message and shit in case he try to goddamn, you know what I mean? Pull a oopsie doozy on your ass.
I'm gonna take B Hill tip and I'm gonna amplify that shit. You let that nigga do that shit, you record that shit, and then you get an extra $2,500 out of that nigga. Boom. That's what you do. Yep. That's my advice. Hey, Sweet Brown, get you 5,000 out this bitch.
Yeah. Sweet Brown,
get you 5,000. Get that 1,800. Record that shit. And then threaten to tell his wife because you chose to eat this pussy. And
don't let him
got
fuck.
A wife.
Don't let him fuck.
Nah, don't.
Don't let him fuck. As soon as you nut, be like, all right, peace. Gone. And
send him out and make him use a napkin in his dash to wipe his mouth. You know what I mean? Sweet Brian, this is probably the most fuck advice we ever gave. But I mean, we can deal in morals or we can deal in real life.
Yeah, I mean,
either way, I gave you both.
Yeah,
I
gave you.
Don't do the shit. I don't know what your situations are. So
yeah, because that 5% increase is gonna hit too on that check. Yeah, that's a good little jump. Yeah. So shit.
Sweet Brown, let us know. Let us know how that shit turned out because we want to know. Y'all gotta follow back up with us because we want to know the shit, man.
Sweet Brown.
I did have someone hit me saying that they're going to follow up on a certain issue. So hopefully they do because I want to know what happened with that particular issue. I ain't gonna even bring it up because I don't know if they're gonna say anything about it. But Sweet Brown, let us know how that shit works.
Sweet Brown.
All right. She said she know it's sweet too. So hey, that's confidence, people. No.
Sing a sweet Negro spiritual while you do it.
Sweet chariot. Swing in between low. Calls. Put your customer on hold and have them face down.
Sweet chariot. Yeah. That's hard.
That's funny. All right, man. We need to move into free smoke. Free smoke is out where we talk about hot busting. Bust it. We talk about hot button issues, personal, political, politics, dependent, don't even really matter. So the last show that we recorded, we were talking about the talk, and we did not get into certain subjects. And we talked about when did you learn about certain things in life. The last episode we talked about sex and how we learned about sex, and I think the conclusion was our parents did not talk to us about sex. Me and B, our parents did not talk to us about sex, and we talked about how we actually learned about sex. I want to bring in another topic, and the way that this is going, we might just carry this topic on into a couple shows because I doubt we're going to be able to get into multiple. But B, I want to know about how did you learn about finances and money? Did your parents have a conversation with you about that?
Well, my mom, fortunately enough, my stepdad, he made a good amount of money, so he was able to take, good care of us. He didn't really stress it as much, but I just saw him hustle and shit, and like I was just used to having things and shit, early on, right? So, and my mom, she, at some point, for a couple years that she didn't even have to work just because he was making a good amount, and she just wanted to chill and kind of do her thing. And he allowed her to do that. So, but then when she did go back to work, her money was hers. Like she would pay like incidental bills and shit, like cable bill, light bill, shit like that. But, I always had, I don't know, like I've always had a work ethic. Like I've always just been like, instinctively about my paper. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I was able to get some money, I was always able to try to get some money and shit. I've always just had that natural ambition and hustler spirit in me. So I don't know if I got that from my mom. I think I may have gotten it from my mom. I'm not sure. My real pops, I'm not really sure because nigga ain't raised me, so I don't really know too much about him. But I don't know. It just was kind of instinctive. So my mom, like, I remember going and setting up a bank account early in the game. My granddaddy taught me about that shit.
How old were you when you had that bank account?
I got my first bank account when I was like 7 or 8.
Nice.
And I was saving money, like little odds and ends and shit, like $20 here. I would put it up, and my mom, like my granddaddy used to put money in my account and shit, and like Like, my mom taught me how to balance a checkbook early and shit, and, you know, just like simple shit
That's
like
dope.
that. Yeah. So, my mom kind of instilled that shit into me a little early. She told me the importance of credit because hers was fucked, and she told me never try to fuck your credit up if you can, even though she did kind of fuck mine up at certain points. But it is what it is. But yeah, like when I started working, my first job, I was a camp counselor. Like a youth counselor. I was like 14 and a half, I think is when I got my first job.
Not and a half, though.
I know you had to be 14 and a half in order to get it. So I remember going when I turned, like, it was like the halfway mark because you had to apply for the shit in the wintertime for it to be the summer job. So I ended up, I got hired, and all the money that I made, my mom told me to save it. She was like, because I'm not buying you any school clothes. So whatever you, because I had fucked up my 9th grade year, and she didn't send me to summer school that year. She was like, but as your punishment, I'm not buying you any school clothes. Whatever you get is on your own completely. Like, I'm not buying anything because I got to pay for your summer school next year, which was like $500. So she taught me I saved all my money pretty much. Like, I mean, because I was probably getting like $110, $15 a week. You know what I'm saying? And I can't remember if it was tax free or not, but.
That's rich when you that age.
Shit, yeah, nigga, I was getting $115.
Fucking $400-$500 a month.
Like,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so I had like $560 or some shit. I don't remember. And that's when Fashion Nav was popping one time for the niggas in Raleigh.
Shout out to Fashion Nav. Fashion Nav definitely sold some bootleg shit too. I'm just learning later on.
Yeah, but the sneakers was alright though. So I used to go. I went in there. I remember I spent like $400, but it was even to the point where it was like my mom was like, "You want to spend all your money on like the first front load your school, or you want to try to spend some of your money and then continue to work and kind of grow that money so that you'll have more." And I spent a lot of money just because I had to buy school clothes, but I remember having enough money to where like I was still buying I was buying shit like for myself the first like month or two, you know, of school, because I remember I had got some blue bows and shit, some navy blue bow Jacksons. Them shits was the hardest shits in the world to me, and I remember getting them shits like 2 weeks after school started and shit. And I remember niggas was like, "Damn, where you at?" I came back to school killing them. I had like
cold as fuck.
Killing them. I was killing them. I had like 5 pairs of sneakers and shit. Like this one sneakers was $70 and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
hell yeah, and that was expensive as shit for back then.
Hell yeah.
Now they double and triple that.
And I had like an outfit to go with each pair of sneakers and shit. Maybe a couple shirts. You know what I'm saying? Definitely like 4 pairs. You know what I mean? So I spent my money wisely, and I was able to learn the cost of $1 and shit. And then even more so, like I was able to kind of break it down. Like boom. You know, this amount of money gets me X amount of clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was able to like rationalize in my mind, like, damn, I see why my mama ain't go nuts every time I wanted some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was the only child. Like, my mom was the only child. So I was kind of, I won't say spoiled, but like, my mama really didn't spoil me. She gave me, like, I had nice clothes and nice shit, but like, I won't get into every fucking shoe that came out. I definitely won't get into every, you know what I'm saying? Right. Whenever I say I wanted some shit, she won't necessarily get it. Like, it was when she could afford it and when she felt I deserved it. So, but she taught me that valuable lesson, I think, early on. Like I said, just the value of money and kind of like, you know, slow rolling me into the whole process of spending my money, saving my money. And I also just I was just been frugal all my life. So it kind of worked out kind of hand in hand. So. Yep.
Yeah, but we both, do you feel like that contributes, and I'm speaking on my behalf as well, and I'll get my little spill, my story in a second. Do you feel like that contributes to the fact why we such sneakerheads right now?
Yeah, I've always been in love with sneakers, like always. I told y'all before, like my first pair of like J's was when I was in 3rd grade, the Grape 5s, and ever since then, like, it was times that I had the bullshit. Like I used to get the shits from Upton's and they be Nikes, but them shits just be Nikes. They don't be nobody name. Yeah, it was them shits, you know what I'm saying? Just to get you through when mama was fucked up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like there was them $30-$40 Nikes and shit that, you know what I mean, won't pop in like they came from Upton's or goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like not Raccoon, but it won't Foot Locker necessarily all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
there was just Nike blaring Nikes where you get them shits from Rack Room?
Yeah, Rack Room. Yeah, them bullshit Nikes. Yeah,
DSW.
Yeah, all them
like
bullshit.
Them type Nike.
Yeah, them fucking non-fly shit, the least fly shit. But see, now that's why kids so fucking spoiled now, because there's so many different sneakers and shit. Like when we was coming up, like it was, you know, specific sneakers. Like you know, niggas would have, it'll be a J that drop or be some Pippins. Like multiple niggas had multiple shoes, but it won't like you couldn't get Rochers, you couldn't get Flynets, you couldn't get, you know what I'm saying, like all Vans, you couldn't get all, like, these niggas got like a million different options, and there's so many shoes in abundance, like shit be on sale, you know what I'm saying, now, so little niggas are spoiled now, but yeah, I think so, that definitely played a part.
Yeah, like, for me, like, as far as money is concerned, like, I come from a family of get it and spend it. You know what I'm saying? And my family constantly, when they got money, they spent it. Yeah. They wasn't used to having it. You know what I'm saying? My mom and my dad, you know what I'm saying? They would get money. My mom and dad worked. My mom, worked for the government. Then my dad, he was a mechanic or whatever. And, they got money. And the way my dad worked, he was mainly independent for the most part. So the money he got was his. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't get like a check. He got like niggas paying him, like, you know what I mean? Directly. And so they was spending shit. And one thing I can say is that, you know, my mom and my dad, like, they were fly respectively. In their group. Yeah, I mean, like, for their group. Like, they was fly, you know what I'm saying? Like, they always got their shit off. Like, I remember a point in time where my mom and my dad, like, they used to dress real, like, dressy. You know what I'm saying? My dad had, if he wasn't working on a car, he had on, like, mad suits, and my mom dressed, like, accordingly, like, to match his fly. And then I think at some point in time, like, I don't want to say they got more hip hop, but my dad got like more into sneakers and, you know what I mean, shorts and like doing that type of fly, you know what I'm saying? But we never, like, they never taught me about money, and still to this day, my dad has passed, my mom is still, like, my mom still don't know about money, I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of one of them things where I had to fall on my face in order to learn about money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know about how credit worked, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to college and Capital One and Citibank and all these people were on campus giving us free t-shirts to sign up for a credit card. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And you just like, so I can get $500 from you right now, and I can pay like $20 a month, and I can still get what I want. You young and you dumb, and they preying on you. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But you're not knowing, right? You're not knowing that, you know what I'm saying? I bought this shirt from fucking Wet Seal for motherfucking $15. I'm gonna end up paying $35 for this shirt by the time I'm finished with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know that, but all you know is your needs right now. Like, I'm in college. My parents are not wealthy. I'm the oldest of 4. So me just going to college is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, for the first year of college, everybody in your family is excited because you're in college. So while I was in college my freshman year, random checks would just show up in the mail from random family members. $50 here, $100, $25. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I thought I had it, and I had like scholarship money, and I had like all of this stuff. So I thought it was good. And the only thing that I knew about credit was if your credit fucked up, you can't get a house. I'm motherfucking 18 years old. I don't give a fuck about getting a house. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way that I'm thinking. At that point in time, I didn't know that credit really played a part in all these other decisions and how you're basically viewed. Yep. You know what I'm saying? From a loan worthiness standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So it was a hard lesson for me to learn. Like, I was buying all types of shit, like drinks on me, like, you know what I mean? Like, you in college, and drinks on me just mean I'm going to the motherfucking ABC store, buy 2 bottles of Vladimir. Vodka, you know what I mean? For $25 for 2 half gallons, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, a bottle of Jack costs me $25, $30 for one, you know what I'm saying? But that's when your taste evolved. But anyway, you know, just being a kid, I didn't know that. And I fucked my credit up, my nigga. Like, you. I really fucked my credit up. I didn't know until I went to go get a car. Like, my dad was a mechanic. So my dad always had cars. Like, I had 2 or 3 cars before I had a car that I actually had to make a payment on. I didn't have to make a payment on a car till after I graduated. You know what I'm saying? And my dad went with me to, I remember us being at like CarMax, you know what I'm saying? And CarMax basically said like, look, her credit's some shit. And sir, you're a ghost. You know what I mean? You are a 40+ year old man with no credit. My dad didn't have no credit. He never signed up for credit cards and shit like that. So having no credit is just as bad as having bad credit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're a ghost to the credit system. So I feel like that was an eye opener to me about like how money really works. But as far as the contributions of my parents, my mother put me in the same position kind of that your mother put you in. My mother said, look, you want all these clothes that are out of my budget. I have 4 kids. You are the oldest of 4 kids. If you want, because back then I wanted fucking Jordans. I wanted Averexes. I wanted all this madness. Like, shout out to Madness Shop. I don't know if y'all know about Madness and how that was in DC in like the 90s. Like, Madness Shop was the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did custom shit, like all that. So in DC, that shit was really like popping. If you want all that, you gotta buy that yourself. So my start to being a go-getter was my mom saying, I'm not buying you shit like that. I'll buy you these clothes from Woolworth and like places where you can get your groceries and your clothes at the same spot. Yeah, I mean, like a Walmart type place, you know what I'm saying? Like Morton's, it was a place called Morton's at Home. Like, they was a place where I used to get like my TLC gear. I've expressed to y'all several times I thought I was TLC. Like, I would get shit like that, but the shit that I really wanted and coming of age and being 14 years old, my mom said, you got to get that shit on your own. So when you start this summer job at 14, you need to save your money to buy your school clothes. And that's exactly what I did. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I credit my mom for giving me that. Like, if you want it, you got to go get it yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And I worked from the time I was 14 to present. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But one of the major things that my dad taught me was don't let nobody know how much money you got or how much money you make. He said, and I don't care who it is, family, friends, your mama, daddy, nobody. He said, because people will find a way to spend your money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I take that with me to this day. Like, there's nobody who can tell you how much money I've ever made at any point in time. You know what I'm saying? In my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may have some type of inkling, like she make this much or she make that much, but it's nobody but myself and the company that I work for can tell you how much money I make. And I see people make that mistake so often, where they so happy about their promotions or how much money that they make. And it's probably very different for you because, you know, you're in a household where you're married and y'all split finances. You know what I'm saying? But I said to myself, like, even if I got married, like, I would have a certain amount of money that we share jointly, but I still gotta have my own shit. You know what I'm saying? We had this joint bank account, and I can say, like, 80% of what I make go in here. You know what I mean? But that 20% belonged to me. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I wouldn't use that money for my family or whatever the case may be, but you know what I'm saying? When people know the money is there, people will find a way to use it. And it's not necessarily malicious intent. It's just how people function. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want this big screen TV, or I want this. We got it. Nah, we got this. I got this. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just how I work. But I credit, you know, my mom and dad for teaching me that and giving me that kind of hustler's ambition or hustler spirit or whatever. But I had to learn the hard way about money. And it took me to probably very, very early 30s to get my credit to where it needs to be. That's why to this day, like, when it comes to niggas like, won't you just put it on your credit card? Like, I'm just hesitant about that because I'm going to end up paying more for this than the deal is not the deal.
Unless you pay that shit off right away for your points. Like, Exactly. We did that shit, like, get your cash points. But the key to that shit is like I really learned about like financial, like
Financial literacy.
a couple different things. I had a tech math class in high school. My senior year, I took tech math, and that shit was the most instrumental math that I took because it was life math. It was balancing your checkbook. It was doing your
which
taxes.
should be taught in the schools.
It was fucking credit, the significance of credit. The reason, like, I had a teacher coach there. Shout out. I hope he's doing all right. He was a real nigga. He was a real white dude. Cool, real cool. Used to let motherfuckers fight and all type of shit. Won't finna break it up. He called the office. He was like, fuck, y'all motherfuckers ain't finna hit me. But,
I know that's right.
Yeah, but he was like, credit cards. He was like, the reason that they make credit cards is to make money off the interest. He was like, interest is basically,
right.
And I used to sell weed and shit, so I was listening hard because that's basically like when motherfuckers try to front you like bud and shit, and they put their extra tax on it versus like you just buying it outright and then doing your thing.
Right.
So it made sense to me in my mind like that. But he was like, yeah, he was like, I guarantee you if this was back then before like points and all that shit that, started reaping rewards from using a credit card. But like, he was like, if you buy some shit today for $39.89 and you pay that shit off tomorrow at $39.89, you won't have a credit card loan because they're not going to make any money off of you. They'll cancel your credit card. He said it's happened to me a million times. He was like, I did that shit to build my credit because they reported it. And I was like, damn, that shit crazy. Granted, once I got my own credit card, I didn't adhere to that. One, because I was broke as fuck and I ain't have no money. So I was like, oh, I got a $1,000 limit. Let me go and get some gas off this fucking shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I remember I was with my pops one time and I had pulled out my credit card. He was like, did you just use your credit card to get gas? I was like, yeah, I ain't got no money. He was like, one, I would have gave you the money. Two, you know how much money, he was like, that $27 that you just put in your tank, that shit is going to be $34. You know what I'm saying? Or, lo and behold, that shit was way more than $34. That shit was probably like $56. You know what I'm saying? Because I was paying the bare minimum. So I learned that the hard way. But I think, like, motherfucker can only tell you but so much, right? Like, you got to put your hand on the stove sometime and realize that motherfucker going to burn you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the motherfucker can tell you till they blue in the face that shit going to burn you. And yeah, you might believe him, but you still gonna goddamn put your hand on that stove, and then your hand gonna come back red in the motherfucker. So life lessons, life is the greatest teacher of all. You know what I'm saying? And I've come to realize that people can, like, I've gotten some great advice throughout the years, but I've also learned a lot more on my own that I could, administer to myself as well as others. So it's just a combination. So I definitely plan on, hipping my kids to the, like my kids strapped up, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got money. I've been set aside a lot of money for them now, you know what I'm saying? I try to put some money in their account, like, quite often. I haven't done so in a little while, but I need to. But my kids got fat cat accounts with the local government credit union. Probably got a lot more money than a lot of grown people that I know, unfortunately. But I'm definitely, as they get older, I'm going to definitely teach them the value of money. They got piggy banks that I try to, like, talk to them about. Like, and it's funny now, like, if I have it'll be some loose change around, they'll go put that shit in their piggy bank. You know what I'm saying? Just because I've kind of instilled that in them now. So,
that's dope.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to, I definitely don't want them to make the mistakes that I did. And hopefully I don't want to make the mistakes that my parents did, like kind of putting me behind the 8 ball in certain aspects. Like, my mom kind of fucked my credit up because shit had got funky for her. And then, she did some weirdo shit, but I definitely don't want to set them up for that. You know what I'm saying? And fortunately, I'm in a position now that we can kind of, kind of secure their future a little bit more than, so when they do have once they come of age and they're able to make decisions for themselves, and hopefully they'll make good decisions. They're going to fuck up with this because you need to burn your hand a couple times in order to realize, the error in your ways. But, I mean, it's, life, again, life is the greatest teacher. So,
So give the people a tip or so, either for themselves or for teaching their kids or whatever. Just lead the people with a tip about money management. Or what you've learned.
What I've learned is save your money, man. Like, that shit is like, it's save your money. That shit, like, don't buy shit that's, the necessities and shit, food. Coupon if you can. My wife was a huge couponer. We kind of got away from it just because we busy as fuck with kids and shit. So it's a tedious task and it takes a lot of time. But coupon is super fucking dope, especially like in North Carolina. They got Harris Teeter that does double daily buys and shit like that. So you can basically get that shit for free if you just have somewhat of some smarts about you. My wife does it. She's smarter than me when it comes to shit like that. So I let her handle that. But we used to do all type of shit. But save your money. Even if it ain't nothing but $20, like put that shit to the side and just like if you put that shit to the side, you know, over the course of a year, if you do that every time you get paid, you'll have what you get paid 26 times. 26 times 20 is what? I don't know what that is. Somebody do the math. But you just think about that just from a small aspect, right? So if you can just afford to do $20 for every time you get paid, just put that shit up either for you or your kids. Just try to do that shit, and that shit'll grow. And even, and you can use that for your Christmas time and shit like that. So,
facts.
Just save your money. $20. I know to some $20 might be a lot, just because life is unpredictable and things happen and shit like that, and you need every fucking penny. But I guarantee you, if you can discipline yourself enough to save at least $20 every time you get paid, and just put that shit even in a separate account, not even in your savings, just put that shit in a separate account, or even put that shit in your damn mattress or somewhere like that, you know what I'm saying, that you don't necessarily go to, or put it in your safe or something. Just do that. I guarantee you'll be satisfied with the results. And then if you can do that, then try to increase it incrementally, maybe try to do $40, even $25. You know what I'm saying? Like you never go broke making, saving some money. So that's my tip for you. That's what I've done. And keep your side hustle if you can. Gotcha. Do Uber, do something else, like work another job maybe or something. I don't know. Facts. But sell some dope, sell some pussy. Have your manager fucking eat your pussy and you get $2,500, some shit like that. But
so my tips are as follows. And that's just based on the things that I've learned. We need to understand taxes. Yeah. Understand the tax code. Like, get education on how taxes work, because that's how the rich stay rich. You know what I mean? Like, they do this kind of the same shit y'all do with y'all money, but they know how to work the system. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of selling a used car for $1,800 and getting this $1,800, they donate the shit for full price and they write that shit off on their taxes. Mm-hmm. So then at the end of the shit, the government owe them money, right, versus them owing the government money. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Understand tax code. Understand credit. Understand how credit works. So unfortunately, the way our society is set up, credit is worth more than money, mm-hmm, because they make money off of credit. You know what I'm saying? So the point is, you need to have at least you need to use your cards and have 30% debt, basically, on your cards to have good credit. They want to see that you're paying it, but they need to see that you're using it. So for the individuals who use that, not American Express, because you got to pay that shit off by the end of the month, but other credit cards where you're using your credit card, some people think they will use their credit card and pay the full balance off at the end of the month. Like, they use their credit card for everything and then just use their check to pay off the credit card balance. You're actually not building your credit that way, because every time it's reported, it's basically look like you have a zero balance. You know what I'm saying? I went to, like I said, my credit was trash. My credit is great now. I get all types of shit in the mail from all the banks. Sign up for a credit card with us. You know what I'm saying? But it took me a long time and a lot of hardship and fucking and you 18.
And just growing and living, because you outlived your credit. Fun fact. 7 years, once that shit collection, that shit is gone. So I've outlived a lot of my fucked up shit.
The thing about that is, if your debt is sold off to another collector, that 7 years start over.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to basically dispute that. Mm-hmm. And if that creditor cannot show the original debt where it came from, then you can get that shit marked off. But as long as that shit is see, that's a myth. People think it just goes away at 7 years. They sell debt. So the people who are loaning you money have insurance against your debt. Yeah. They don't lose no money.
You're right.
Period. They don't lose no money. But what they do is they sell your debt to debt collectors for pennies on the dollar. So a debt collector can buy your $2,500 debt for $100. And And it's up to them to try to collect that from you. That's why they're willing to do deals with you. That's why they're willing to take $1,000 versus $2,500 because they only bought the shit for $100. Right. Now that debt collector will have that information and they can't get nothing from you. That debt collector can then sell that debt to another debt collector. You know what I'm saying? So all of these, places in which you, they say they will settle your debt. All they do is write letters and dispute the shit. It's not shit that you can't do yourself. It's more of a convenience thing. You know what I'm saying? Where you pay them to do the legwork for you. So just look into that and just know that, you know, if you need it, get it. I feel like, you know, life is worth living. You can't keep saving all this money, but you need to have money for when you actually need it as well. So it's kind of like this little balance. You know what I'm saying? It's this balance. I'm not with the people who want to save every last penny and they don't live life. And then you get fucking hit by a car and then your family fighting over this money. You know what I mean? Like you never use the shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not with these live for the day people either, that they get paid and they spent all the money and they just waiting to get paid again. You know what I'm saying? So just look after that. And the tip that my dad gave me as far as don't let people know how much you make. Now in a husband-wife situation, y'all deal with that. But outside of that, I don't care if it's your girlfriend, your mama, your whoever. Don't let people know how much you make. Don't be so hype about how much you make. You giving people the dollars and the cents because you got people coming to you saying, man, help me out. My rent late. Man, help me out. This, that. Hey, let's go this place. Your girl or your nigga like, yo, let's go this place to eat. People will spend your money. And I've seen people go through a lot of that. I've seen people have falling out about their own money. Like, why am I arguing with you about my money? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was one of the greatest tips my dad ever gave me. And it has alleviated me from having a lot of disputes that I've seen a lot of friends and family have just because they're so happy about this raise, that they're so happy that they make 6 figures or they make whatever they make. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so excited about that they want to tell everybody, don't tell people your business. Even if I win the fucking lottery, unless I got to show my face, nobody will ever know that I won the lottery. Yep. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying?
North Carolina, you got to show your face. However, you got to show up. And like this one lady, she had a fucking mask on.
Emoji mask on.
Shout out to
she
her.
The GOAT. She the GOAT.
I don't even know if I would have thought of that. I'd have probably just.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but now everybody lit. Like, so now they're going to have to update the policy to say you got to show, you know what I mean? Like you got to show your face. But I want to thank y'all for listening to us. Again, this has been 1 year. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Kisses to you.
Kiss face emoji.
Kissy face emoji.
When I win the lottery, I'm going to do the kiss face emoji. That's how y'all going to know that's me. Make sure y'all subscribe to the show, man. Speaking of subscribing to the show, I want to give a shout out to our engineer, Jesse, who apparently got married this weekend.
Damn, Jesse.
Like, that's crazy. Like, congratulations to Jesse.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Jesse, man.
Follow us at the Ain't Shit Show.
Good white man.
And good white guy. Good white man. Jesse cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Follow us at the Ain't Shit Show. That's an X where the I will be. Oh, and if y'all want to send a letter because I did not close out that segment properly, it's the Ain't Shit Show at gmail.com. Send us a listener letter. Y'all know it's an X where the I will be. Y'all wouldn't be subscribing if y'all didn't know it was an X where the I should be. All right. And leave us a comment and, you know, get us on the Apple Noteworthy page. Get us on the charts. You know what I'm saying? This is our year and we got this photo shoot coming up. So when y'all see these faces, you know what I'm saying, man, B, we ain't hard on the eyes, my nigga. You know what I mean? So when y'all see these faces, you know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all, tell a friend to tell a friend, you know what I'm saying? And, I always like to end the show with a quote. And my quote today is, no one is you, and that is your superpower. Until next week, I want y'all to be great, and we still Wakanda forever. Y'all have a good one, man.
God bless you guys.
We out.
Peace and blessings.
Hey. Bye.